Boom. Hey, look, it's a clap for audio sync. Alright, great. Don't laugh. That's how I do it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Wooden Sheep podcast, a gaming podcast where we're going to be talking about a lot of interesting topics. Today, we've got stuff like Artifact, the long-awaited card game from Valve. We've also got some Game Awards predictions that I think will actually be kind of funny to do. And I've also just played a lot of really cool indie games this week that I would like to talk about. But before that, we're going to introduce our lovely guest today. Of course, I am the loveliest, Mr. Wooden Sheep. We've got Thomi that likes trains. We've got Simi, the sleek and seductive, and we've got Ragewild, the chosen gamer amongst all of us. He is the epitome of gamer.
The one.
Thank you,
Does
Rage.
he eat Doritos and drink
Rage, how many Doritos do you eat per day?
I hate corn chips. So.
No, yeah, this is blasphemy. You're not meant to be saying that stuff. Can we just edit this out? So, a lot to talk about. After a failed attempt at streaming this, we're just gonna settle with recording it instead. So, Rage, you have been playing Artifact, the card game from Valve. They haven't released a game in like how many years? Portal 2 is the latest one, I think.
No,
5
CSGO.
years. No, not CSGO.
What was the last one? Portal 2?
No, CSGO.
No, it's not.
Portal
neither of
2.
those.
Oh, okay.
Let me fucking think.
CSGO's old, yeah.
Yeah, go on, Rage.
Now I forgot. Fucking hell.
Was it Ricochet 2? Did we just miss
It
it?
was neither of. It's not Zero or Portal 2.
You're not talking about the lab, right? The VR game.
Oh, CSGO is older than Portal 2, by the way.
Yeah, I told you it's fucking
younger.
old. Younger?
Younger.
Well, then I
yes.
shouldn't have said that.
Boom.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty
Valve
sure.
list of games.
I just searched it up. Portal is on the 19th of April 2011 and
11,
CSGO
yeah.
21st of August 2012. Boom.
Okay, so what's the latest game after CSGO, according to Rage? What a great start. In the Valley of Gods. Okay, that's the next thing. The Lab. Left 4 Dead Survivors. Counter-Strike.
Dota, fucking hell, yes.
Dota 2?
Dota 2, yes.
Dota 2
it's the
came out
latest
after
release.
CS? I didn't know
Oh.
that.
The beta started earlier than
Yeah.
other games. The
Yeah,
official
must
release was 2013. That's the
Okay,
latest
I must be
update.
thinking of the beta then. That was it.
If you don't consider the lab, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, it's been a lot of years since their
5 years. Yeah.
since their last real game, because the lab was really cool, top quality and a lot of really cool stuff, but not a full-fledged game. But Artifact is like their kind of full first game in a long time, and I've been hearing that it's pretty good, that it like revolutionizes card games for the most part, but the monetization kind of ruins it. But you tell us, Rage, since you've actually played it.
Well, first of all, if you go by the category of a full-fledged game, that's not one either, I suppose.
Sure, I
Card
suppose.
game.
Yeah, it's yeah. But are you enjoying it so far? Like,
First
what
of
do you
all,
think?
this is a collaboration between Valve and the famous card game designers of Wizards of the Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a single, like, it's not...
It's a
how
collaborative
should I put
effort,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a collaborative effort.
They designed it alongside with them, yeah.
Yeah, and you can see it all over it that Richard Garfield was involved, like the the guy who created TCGs in general with Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Like he was the lead designer and the guy behind it.
From what I understand, it's like there's you're playing three like mini games at once, like there's 3 boards. So basically,
basically there's 3 lanes that are mostly not affiliated with each other. They are not influencing each other at all.
3 lanes.
Like,
So akin to a MOBA.
Actually, Artifact does a great job of kinda reflecting Dota 2 in a card game format.
Yeah, because you actually you fight 3 lanes at once, and then you've also got to destroy the tower at the end of the lane. And from what I understand, to win, you need to get 2 lanes out of 3.
The goal is, yes, you have 3 lanes, and on each lane you have a tower and your enemy has a tower.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal is to destroy the respective tower. And after you do that, you basically advance to the Ancient.
Yeah, which is the same tower but with double the health.
Yes, exactly.
So you
It's
could
like,
either double down and go super strong, like put a lot of your units on one lane, or you could try
Yep.
split them and get 2 weaker towers, which sounds pretty interesting to me. It looks fun, and there's a lot of like different types of card types with different colors that focus on different things. Like I
card
think.
types. They're like you have how you build your deck, which is quite
Mhm.
the meat of the game, I suppose. Is you pick 5 heroes,
Yeah.
and each hero first of all has like there are 4 different colors so far, like red, green, black, and blue. And each hero brings 3 cards of his own into the deck automatically. So you from the start you have your 5 heroes plus I think around 15 cards hero specifically. And then you can only put in and play cards that are the specific color of the hero. So which is similar to Magic, I suppose, where you can say I will build a deck that only has red heroes, or I will build a deck that has red and green heroes, so I can play red and green cards. When you start a game, your heroes get separated on the different lanes, the different boards, basically. And when you play on one of the 3 boards, you can only play cards of the color of the hero that you have on the board.
Okay, but you can have multiple colors in one of your hands. So
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds like you can mix around playstyles. I mean, what do you think of the? Again, from what I understand, from what I've heard from a friend, the way the monetization is you have to pay. You can't earn cards permanently for free, which is like, angering a lot of people.
Basically, and that is also you can see it from the developers of Wizards of the Coast, because if you look at normal TCGs that are like physical form, you can only pay money and then you can try them or whatever.
Sure, you
And
can't
you
earn
don't
any
get-
physical cards for free.
Well, there are ways, but that's
Yeah, but
not the
yeah,
same
I
thing,
suppose games like Hearthstone and whatever have changed that.
yeah, and then
because
then
it's
we
digital
have
now.
then we have fuck, sorry about that.
Having a party over there.
Yeah. And then we have the digital TCGs, which of course the most famous one is Hearthstone, and there are a few others.
Yeah.
And they all have ways, like most of them have also campaigns or whatever. But they all have ways to earn cards for free through either trading and like
Or just grinding for a long time, playing the game.
grinding, yeah, certain modes, or trading your like scrapping your cards, leftover cards, basically into some kind of currency, and from that to buy new cards. And what Valve does, it combines the 2 concepts. Like it is a digital card game,
Yeah.
but it disregards like some kind of currency or fake currency. Instead, it says the Valve developers probably thought they have a system in place with the Steam market,
Yeah.
so they decided to utilize that. So, which how the monetization basically works? You have to buy the base game for I think it's 18 euros, 17.95. You get 10 card packs with I think 10 cards in it that are 1.95 each.
I'm just trying to understand. Like, you could basically say the game is like free to play, and the first 20 euros that you're paying to buy it are like buying the packs, right?
You basically are buying a starter pack.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of trying to understand it like that.
Yeah, why people are infuriated about the whole system is, as I said earlier, it's just some kind of currency, and they have tied in the Steam market into the game like needlessly. Like you can just go there. They have specific tabs for selling your own cards, and then buying cards from the market, and
Yeah.
and that's kind of ingenious and evil, in my opinion. If you have a normal physical TCG, you can buy some cards, and then at your local shop where other people play, you can just go and trade with whoever you want, or you can just also sell to different platforms or whatever.
Mm.
So basically, once the manufacturer sells you the cards, they won't double down on your like whatever you do with the cards afterwards. And but what happens in Steam and with Valve is they sell you the cards for €2 a pack, and then they take 3% of each time you sell or buy a card.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like...
because the Steam market,
Yeah,
it's like
Yeah,
a tiny
true.
fee.
That's the
Oh my
normal-
god, that is insidious. Holy shit.
And
Yeah.
regardless of the fact that like in real life you can't earn cards for free, but for years now digital games have changed that. So I don't see why they shouldn't implement some sort of mode where you can earn
Yeah,
cards for
but-
free, even if it's a lot of grinding.
That's why I said why the Wizards of the Coast influences, because basically it's just like a physical trading card game where there is no way to earn stuff for free unless they're playing tournaments or anything. Where
Yeah.
you also pay money anyway for the entry. But but it is
that's my
not
problem.
physical. It is not physical.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
It is a not physical trading card game that disregards all mechanics that have been established by already existing digitized.
Digital games.
So basically, it has
digital trading
the
card games.
worst. It has the worst of both worlds, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Because it's not
Kinda, yeah.
physical. Because it's it's nice to touch the card, whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's not physical, but then it has the shitty part about the physical part where you can just make a card appear out of thin air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, that
Yeah,
kind of
that's
sucks.
a good point. But
I
the
think
thing that
it is like
Yeah, go
doing
on, go on.
it is the same business model that Magic the Gathering Arena has. I think that's the latest take on digitized Magic the Gathering. But people accept that because it's just like Magic the Gathering, where cards do not appear out of thin air. It's just a digitized form of the card game they love.
a friend of ours, Striking, told me how the drafting mode works in this game. Yeah, you take turns picking a card. Each player takes turns picking a card from the same deck until that card is depleted. The deck is depleted, and then you move on to the next deck. So you can basically play with cards that you don't actually permanently own, which sounds fun to me.
Yeah.
The only problem is you need 4 players to play that free mode, he said. But he's not entirely sure, so don't quote me on
Yeah,
that.
and the paid version is probably where you can keep the cards you
Yeah.
drafted, and maybe
there's a paid version
reward.
Of the same exact mode
That's
where
exactly
you earn
how
the card
Magic the
permanently.
Gathering drafting works. Like everyone pays 10 euros or 12 euros, and they get 3 packs. And then
The drafting mode sounds interesting to me because I'm not into card building. I don't really care about that stuff. And Simi's the same. Like when she plays Hearthstone, you like playing the dungeons and
dungeons.
stuff, where you
Yeah.
just kind of get cards and every
well,
round
but
you
that is
choose stuff.
essential to do well in drafting. You have like experience building a deck, because otherwise you
Yeah.
will draft shit that doesn't work.
Sure, I mean you
together.
can still earn the experience while playing draft mode. I'm just saying I don't like to
Yeah.
have to prepare my entire. Like I like having just options. Like oh, here's 3 cards. Pick this. Which one do you think is the best?
Well, but
it's
that's
kind of like
different for other people. Like
yeah. I'm saying me personally.
For me,
I'm
for
saying me
example,
personally.
as someone who's played Magic the Gathering for a decade, the most fun you have is building new decks.
Yeah. I'm sure a
From
lot
the
of people enjoy
cards
that.
you own, or even cards you don't own, like having ideas about decks and then building them. It takes years until you get to that point where you stop just copying the decks that are in the meta and starting thinking about own ideas or own deck ideas.
Mm.
But that's the most fun you have.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And for those people, it kind of sucks that you can't earn cards for free. Like,
Yeah, of
without-
course, because if you want to get into the meat of the entire system, the game, which is essentially deck building, you will need all the expensive cards.
It sucks. It sounds like they did try to revolutionize the game, the genre, and it
It's
sounds
not
fun.
Like, I don't know where the term revolutionize.
No, revolutionize. That might be a little bit. Yeah, that might be a bit
Because-
exaggerated.
Sure, the only thing I haven't seen yet in other games is like the 3 completely separate boards.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
kind
have
of it.
But I have seen lane mechanics in different digitized TCGs, or even not digitized. Sorry. So yeah, that's the only thing that is different. But everything
Yeah.
else you have seen in other games, definitely.
Yeah.
That and the market.
No, it doesn't look
like-
revolutionary. You're right, but it looks like it is trying to innovate a little bit. That's what I should be saying. But
Yeah.
it seems like it's let down by the greedy, seemingly monetization. I don't know. It looks fun. I wish there was a demo, man. I said this a few episodes ago. I wish games had demos again, but just like something to try the mechanics and just see how the world building is, because I hear that that's pretty good with the voice acting and sound effects and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, basically they are trying to make a proper, coherent story for Dota, which makes little sense, I suppose. In my opinion, at least.
I mean, it's just optional. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Like Overwatch does that with their comics and cinematics and stuff. It's optional. I want an Overwatch story mode if they like fine-tune things.
The difference is Overwatch is like their own original thing, while Dota is kind of a rip-off of Warcraft.
Yeah, but in the end, they
what?
made its own thing.
Wait, how?
Well,
What
it's
is
the
your
game
conclusion
mechanics.
on that?
It's the game mechanics in me that they took.
No.
Like it.
No,
they
it
took the
wasn't.
brand as well, but it's not a rip-off or anything.
Yeah.
Weren't
yeah,
the
yeah.
characters like there's
The
a character
characters-
like Lunara?
The characters
No,
are literally
basically
characters from Warcraft.
the origins of Dota 1 it was a mod for Warcraft 3. So of course many characters would look the same because as a modder you will not make your own custom
Well, yeah.
character
So
designs.
They modified them a bit though.
A
Didn't
little
they?
bit. Like, look at Pudge.
They had to modify them as well.
Yeah,
Like there are
that's all
some
she's saying.
instances
Look
of
at,
some heroes where they had to change them because of legal reasons.
Yeah, look at Pudge and Stitches are like essentially the exact same character.
yeah, and I was,
Patch was called Butcher in the previous Dota.
Yeah,
had to change
that's what I'm
that as
saying.
well.
Yeah, they modified a little bit, but it's essentially still the
But
exact same.
it's not a rip-off though. Yeah.
I mean, if you take a character and make it based on another existing character, and it just changes
I think that's
slightly.
unfair, Simi.
it-
That's like saying Torbjorn is a ripoff of Engineer.
Yeah,
from
because
Dota.
Dota
But
was
it's not,
never-
because he doesn't look like him at all.
Yeah,
Like how I guess
agree
how
with Simi.
how similar is it? You're saying
Like,
it's very
dude,
similar?
It's like
There was-
look it
there
up.
was-
Look up Pudge.
Yeah, yeah. Pudge. Okay, so Dota Pudge, right?
Dota 2 Pudge.
Okay, so this guy, yeah, he looks.
It's a ripoff. It's straight up a ripoff.
Okay,
No,
in,
okay.
In Warcraft, hang on. I wouldn't say this is straight up a ripoff. It's like he's all rotten and stuff. Hang on, let me just put this on the visual.
Still a big fat guy, zombie kind of guy. His
I mean-
like bowels are hanging out, at least in some art. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Stitched together.
I wouldn't again. I
Okay.
wouldn't call this a ripoff. It's a bit like a gray area. I agree with you.
Okay, what's the name of the like
The
fawn or
Lunara
whatever?
people?
Yeah, like there was a character in Dota that looks like Lunara, but I don't know her name.
And let me just show Stitches as well for people who might not know. Okay, so Stitches, because I never played Warcraft or anything like that either. So he does have a hook and everything in that game as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
plays exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like it's just yeah, they just took the models. There's like I think it was like Frost Mage or something. There's like a Frost Mage character that's pretty much like a Lich from WoW. And like they didn't even bother really changing it.
Okay, so this is Lunara from the Blizzard world. What
Warcraft.
are they called in
Enchantress.
Dota? Dota Enchantress?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she even has the spear.
I mean, yeah, sure. I don't know. To me,
Wait, choose a better picture. Like, go back. Like I don't know, like that.
Well, but
the
that's
one
about
after.
This one.
origins. That's not about ripping off. It's
Well,
like because the characters in Dota are always affiliated with the Dota
Yeah,
franchise.
but that's like
And
me
the
making-
Dota franchise has its roots in Warcraft, sure, but Blizzard was stupid enough to let Icefrog go, and he took all the characters with him, of course.
I don't know. I still think it's like me making now a mod for I don't know, Cuphead or something, and then it's like okay, now I'm gonna make my own game.
So you are saying you will not own you should not own the rights for your mode?
Not the mod, but
she's
the
just saying the
characters.
characters. She's just saying
Yeah,
the characters. I
like-
mean, this is pretty much just Fortnite to PUBG, right? They took the formula of the game and then they
But
gave
the-
it a new look, a new skin.
Yeah, and
Yeah, but the characters are
sort
different.
of.
There's no
Yeah.
characters in PUBG and Fortnite. There's no characters. It's just random people.
Right,
If
but I'm
they
saying-
took
sure.
like very similar weapons and like all weapons are very very similar, and if they took like the same sort of guy with the same sort of helmet that they have in PUBG, this like level 3 blast helmet thing.
This like Russian helmet.
Yeah. If they made a very similar one and like they had the whole tie and suit thing and like not like
But-
cartoonish characters, then
I
I would.
get you. I get
It's
you.
like if I made now a mod for Overwatch and then made a character who's also a sniper lady and she's French and she
I
has
mean, it's like
spiders.
paladins.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
they-
but then
Paladins
we
has.
can turn it around and say that HOTS stole the entire game concept of Dota
Yeah,
as well.
I'm talking
Yeah, but you
about
can't steal
characters, though.
concept.
She,
So-
she's just saying.
I'm saying the characters.
Yeah,
like
but
the
that is
characters
also
are.
not character stealing because they're called entirely different. They look different in the end, even though they have same roots.
Yeah, but
They have entirely different personalities and abilities.
yeah, okay, but I'm saying the looks, and a ripoff isn't literally just copy paste. A ripoff is just something that looks slightly different, but it's still
I wouldn't call
obviously.
it a ripoff though. Then
Well, what is a ripoff then?
a ripoff is something whatever. I don't care anymore.
I mean, it's just it's they basically made a fair trade though, right? Like Valve took this from Blizzard, and Blizzard took Overwatch from Team Fortress 2. So
Yeah, but no character from Overwatch is a direct ripoff of any character from TF2. It's just mostly gameplay stuff, you know. But the world.
But the Dota also didn't take original characters in any way. It just took
But
models that were existing.
Yeah, but they are ripoffs because they look like yeah, they don't look exactly the same. But you can't tell me that the Enchantress doesn't look like Lunara, like she's a fawn thing with a
No,
spear.
she doesn't look like Lunara. She looks like the unit from the
Yeah, I
faction.
agree with that. Yeah,
It's completely different.
Yeah, maybe
that's
not
like-
Lunara specifically, just Lunara species, whatever.
I mean,
I'm
to be
just-
fair, it's kind of difficult when you're like, well, when you make a sequel to a game where you don't really own the rights to, like it was with Dota. Like they had to like do something similar, but I think in some
It's just a
cases
middle
it's
ground,
like
yeah.
it's like a little bit too close. And yeah, I don't think it
with
matters.
the characters that were too similar to certain actually named characters for Blizzard. Don't worry, Blizzard took care of it. They took legal action, and Dota 2 had to change these characters.
oh really?
Yes, there are multiple instances of that.
I honestly don't think this is much of a problem. Like, I mean, yeah, again, like we're saying, these are modified. These guys were in a certain world, and then it went to another owner or whatever. So they're just trying to keep the atmosphere, the look, kind of similarly the same, but like strike a middle ground where it's still different enough.
It kind of reminds me of how the guy who made Neverhood lost
Yeah.
the rights to Neverhood, so then he made the ripoff of Neverhood, basically.
Yeah, Armored Krog.
Which to me, this is like that. Like, yeah, it's different, but it's still, you can see that it's the same thing.
I don't think
kinda.
anyone's necessarily denying that, though. Is anyone here denying that their like Pudge looks like Stitches, for example?
Well, yeah,
I mean-
Rage
Well,
is denying that.
Yes, because if you look at Dota nowadays, Dota 2, it has, like beside the concept of the character maybe, it doesn't have any kind of, like, traces of the quite unique Blizzard style in any way. There are no oversized, there are no comic bodies with
style.
big boobs. There are
No.
Yeah, but that's what a ripoff is. You copy a
No,
style.
I wouldn't
that's
say
not.
that.
I'm saying specifically the character design, though.
Yeah,
I'm
like
not,
when you look at it, it's a fat
It's not
man with
even
his.
design. It's like concept. That's it, and that's not a ripoff.
Okay, forgetting the labels, guys. Forgetting the label. Like we're just giving things different names, concepts, whatever.
I mean, come on.
Just literally, it's a fat man with a hook who is rotting and has like his guts coming out, and he stumbles around or whatever. Like that is. That's what we're talking about here. In the same way that Paladins, there's a guy like Reinhardt who's big and a knight with a blue shield that's rectangular, and there's the Reaper ripoff.
Yeah,
other
but I
things
wouldn't
too,
call
like-
that a ripoff then.
Then
Sure,
what
sure.
is a
Look at-
ripoff then?
You could have done it. You could have done it like League did it, for example. League also has a character that's sort of like Stitches, or Pudge or whoever, and he's called Blitzcrank. And instead of being like a rotten big fat thing, he's a giant yellow robot that
Yeah.
hooks people in with a metal arm.
Yeah, like that's the gameplay is like similar, but at least
But
the
the aesthetic
character.
changed.
At least they were
Aesthetic-
creative for the character, yeah, and didn't just straight up be like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're just gonna do the exact same thing."
Maybe they were
it's
scared.
Okay, so it's okay to steal gameplay, but not the characters.
It
I mean, that's
sort
what
of is,
happened with
because-
Yeah,
PUBG.
because
Alright.
gameplay is
So
like.
you steal gameplay concept, but not character concept.
Well,
I
that's how
agree
Sean-
with
That's-
with
okay,
Rage here, by the
That's
way.
no, that's like saying that all FPS games are stealing from Doom because it was the first FPS or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Gameplay concept is different from coming
Yeah,
up with a
so
character.
You are saying then, when one game has a big fat guy that is rotting with a hook, no one else is allowed to make one? And
I'm not
should be
saying
considered
they're
a
not
ripoff?
allowed, but it's like
She's just
it's
pointing out
just-
that it's
so
similar.
similar. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have the same roots. You cannot change that.
well, yeah, but
absolutely
that's
can.
yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can absolutely change that. Like
like
so what if
like
they
like
have
League
the
of
same
Legends, like Thomi just said. I think just always the important thing is balance. I agree with you, Rage, that I don't think gameplay concept should be stolen more than aesthetic concept, by the way. But I think just as long as it's not so many specific things coming together to make this one specific thing, like fat guy with hook with rotten stuff, for example. Like they could have made it a thin guy with a hook, but not
why
rotting,
would they
for
change
example.
characters that people love from Dota 1?
That's what I was that's what I was gonna get to as well. I think that's the reason they didn't change Pudge that much from Stickers,
and
because people were like into the Blizzard look.
Characters that were too similar to already existing Blizzard characters, Blizzard took care of that. They had legal action.
I think, guys, that's
why Pudge is called Pudge and not Butcher anymore, for example, as well.
Yeah, I think Valve just didn't change them that much because they were
Yeah, I
afraid
know.
people wouldn't want them to
I
change.
get the
Yeah.
reason. Like I can see where they're coming from, but I still think it's a ripoff nonetheless. Like it's still a fucking fat guy with rotten
Okay, fine.
bits.
Your point is it just looks too similar and it's not interesting that they didn't change it. That's your point.
Like
That's
I don't like that wouldn't stop me from playing the game, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Like I've played fucking games that have shit like
I just have
the
the
same
issue
shit.
with the rip-off thing. I don't think it's a rip-off at all.
Okay, but
Okay, we can
a
disagree.
ripoff doesn't have to be just yellow Sonic, you know, and that's a ripoff. Like a ripoff can go.
They
a bit-
did Yellow Sonic within the Sonic universe.
Oh
Like-
yeah, right. Like Super Saiyan
Yeah.
Sonic.
Oh, look, a Dragon Ball ripoff.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I don't know. Just I think it's just too soon. It's like how a lot of I don't know, sci-fi things or whatever. Just a lot of things make too similar to other things, and
Yeah. Anyway, we don't want to dread on this too much, but yeah.
yeah, we talked about Artifact and Dota for quite a while.
Yeah, jeez. Okay, quickly, before we go off of Valve, I just wanted to point out something kind of interesting, and I want to hear your guys' opinions. You know how Valve basically takes a cut of any game that's sold on Steam?
30%, yes.
Yeah, 30%. Well, they're now changing the policy slightly. So after a game sells $10 million worth, Valve will now take 25% only. And then when they sell $50 million worth, they'll start taking 20% only. So, I mean, it's nice that they're giving money to the devs, but when you think about it, this is only to, like, probably AAA games they're
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna say
only-
this should be the other way
It
around.
should be the other way
because,
around, right?
Because like, if you're some indie dev and your game doesn't,
You're stuck at 30%.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
that's
stuck.
it.
Like what?
But that's understandable, though, because they finally noticed that more and more AAA
Yeah,
publishers
I mean,
would rather start using their own platforms. and
Exactly,
their
they're
shit
getting pressured.
instead of-
Like
Yeah,
Bethesda
now we
now
have
is selling
5,000
Fallout.
Thousand
on-
launches.
If you
Yeah.
look at it, like 50 million, it's like 1 million copies, and for a really big AAA title, that's almost.
And it's a
not-
significant drop, 5%. I mean, yeah, we can't complain. In the end, they're taking less money from devs. That's cool. And it is their platform. It's a big platform. They have a right to take a amount. I don't think 30% is
Yeah,
it's
that's
too
a
high,
bit
though.
much.
It's
This
too
is
high.
This is not targeted towards indie developers, though. The
Yeah,
most
I'm just saying,
profitable,
yeah.
the only people who will profit from this are the AAA
I agree,
publishers.
I agree.
don't care for them. They can
And also
fund
Valve,
themselves.
because that's why they're doing it, because they want to keep these publishers on Steam. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying in the end, it's a step in the right direction, but kind of like a weird step. Like, just take the other stairs,
It's
maybe
not,
help
it's
the
not
indies.
a weird step. It's completely understandable. It's just-
Speaking-
yeah, it's not out of goodwill of their hearts. And then
Yeah.
Speaking of weird steps in the right direction, Nintendo kind of took a weird step in the right direction.
I was about to talk about it, actually. Yeah, you know how Nintendo is a pain in the ass, basically, on YouTube for monetizing any content of their games and stuff like that. Well, they're actually stepping back, which really surprised me. So now you are allowed to monetize your footage of Nintendo games, which is really great. With the only caveat that there has to be transformative content, so your commentary. They're not like doing anything too crazy. It just sucks that like people probably doing walkthroughs won't be able to monetize it, but I kind of understand their stance. They don't want people to just watch the game online and not buy
But
it.
what about speedruns?
Yeah, speedruns, that kind of sucks because people can do amazing things without commentary, but I guess now they'll be forced to do some sort of transformative stuff, like put a troll face somewhere in there, like, look, I edited it. But I think that's cool. I'm happy that I don't have to stress about putting Mario Party videos on anymore because, you know, we're doing our commentary, we're having fun, it is transformative and in fair use.
It's
So-
good for it's
That
good for
surprised me.
Probably.
Yeah, I was really happy with that. Yeah, because, oh my god, recently, like last week, I got a false claim on my YouTube video, a really old shitty video, but I still don't want claims, just from some nobody, someone who doesn't own the rights, just some like made up name.
Wasn't it like
I don't want to say the name. This thing.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like I Google search, didn't find them anywhere. But I still don't want to say the name. But yeah, like just on YouTube, it's so messed up. People can just claim any video they want without any proof, and if you try to rebuttal it, you say you're like, oh no, this is false. This is a false claim. They have until 30 days to respond, and in all that time, they're taking your money.
Don't you also have to give like your address and everything to the guy?
No, you don't. No.
Oh, that changed.
Maybe if it goes like further steps later on, but like
don't they just keep the money? Like, doesn't YouTube just like ransom the money?
No, they changed that a few years back.
That would be the perfect solution, right? Just hold it until it's solved, and then you give all the money.
That's how it is right now.
That's how it
is. It like that right now? Okay, maybe.
I'm pretty sure.
That would be a good change.
But it's so stupid that when you try to rebuttal, there's no option for this thing is not even in the video. Like it's just I own this thing that this person is claiming, which is stupid because like this thing was claiming some music that there wasn't any music.
There was no music.
There's no music in the clip. So yeah.
That was probably automatic.
And also it's stupid that can't like YouTube, like they can be like the people who will claim in the first place can be like, nah, give you a strike, you know, like without even YouTube seeing or checking. It's really stupid.
It's a bit of a mess. It's gotten a bit better, but it's still a bit of a mess and it's annoying. But I'm sure people on YouTube, like viewers, have heard this a million times from every channel, so I don't want to talk about it too long. But yeah, that was fucking annoying. But luckily, I sorted it out. I sent them a message and yeah. Okay. Something kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys know, the Game Awards are going to be soon.
Oh,
I think this weekend or something, which they plan to like introduce a lot of cool new games and stuff, like exclusives, which is cool. That's exciting. But I took a very quick look at the nominees.
Oh god!
And I wanted to play a little.
All Red Dead everywhere.
I wanted to play a little game with you guys and predict like who will win. Here, I'll
Red
post it.
Dead,
in this.
everything.
Like, man, it's so sad.
Fortnite.
It's so annoying. Like, I mean, there's so many good games. Not only are the nominees only AAAs for the most part, like Game of the Year only AAAs, but it's also AAAs that came out in the last like 4 months. Like they just forgot about all the ones that were earlier on. You have to click nominees at the top of the website. But it sucks because I came to vote for a game I loved, an indie game, Yoku's Express. Because they said they were nominated, but not for Game of the Year. So the only Game of the Year nominee is an indie game, Celeste here, which appears a lot because I guess it just did really well for an indie game this year.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter World, by the way, I voted for that because that is good game. But yeah, Red Dead, Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed, that's everywhere.
Yeah, that's like the issue with these awards. Like I think Monster Hunter, I will vote for that as well, but it has no chance against Red Dead.
It's not gonna win. No way, dude.
Monster Hunter World came out in January and Red Dead just dropped.
Yeah, but Monster Hunter is like the oldest game on this list. Maybe God of War as well. Best ongoing game.
The thing is, like, I personally really hate Game Awards and like the stuff on Steam because it says absolutely nothing. There's absolutely no point to it because the game that's gonna win is the game with the biggest fan base. And like people jerk off so hard about Red Dead. It's like everywhere.
Yeah,
because if Skyrim was on the list, Skyrim would win. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Dude, Red Dead is in every single category.
Yeah. And maybe it's a great game. It probably is because Rockstar makes some really quality stuff, but it's just I know it's gonna win just because of the insane hype, and maybe deserves it. Maybe deserves it.
It's just the hype right now. Like for example, if Monster Hunter would drop right now as well, like not at the beginning of the year, but now it would be close race.
It would have a closer chance. I mean, okay, that's just Game Awards for you. Honestly, Thomi, you complain about the Steam ones, but I think they're pretty decent because you have the option to vote at least for anything, and they really try to broaden the award things that you can give, like the trophies. I agree though, like it's gonna be like I remember when they first announced the awards, it was like CS:GO won like 3 of them, even though it's a Steam award thing. Yeah, but I thought that was kind of funny. There's some pretty, I thought it was kind of funny, like I mean wait, I'm trying to find the award here. Best performance, it's all the same games, like even best performance, it's again for Detroit or God of War, Assassin's Creed. It's kind of weird, I don't know, and it's just it's a bit of a strange collection.
This is ridiculous that Red Dead Redemption is in every fucking category.
By the way, best mobile game, Donut County. Looks like a great, really cool idea, like kind of Katamari thing. Florence, never heard of it. Seems like probably just some charming indie game. And then Fortnite in the mobile category. And PUBG Mobile.
I
like,
mean, it works, sort of, but yeah.
I mean, kind
Yeah, but
of,
of course they're gonna win that category, right?
Yeah.
It's like they're taking over. It's like just let someone else, like, because it's not mainly
Well,
a
it's just-
mobile thing. You know?
You cannot deny that Fortnite is the
Of course, and I don't want to discredit Fortnite. Like what it's captivated.
And
Like the audience is
supposedly-
amazing.
It's not just like supposedly the mobile Fortnite is actually pretty good.
Sure, yeah, but it's just kind of like
even
why
if it's
even
it's unfair that
yeah, why even throw
people
the thing?
don't
You
have
know?
a chance, but it is supposedly a pretty good
I
game.
just don't think like the problem is really that you let the public vote. If you like, let's be honest, nobody really fucking cares about the Game Awards. Like, not about the
A lot of
games
people do.
themselves. The most
People do.
like what I care about. If I watch the Game Awards, I watch it for the show and the what was it, the Gillette Hyper Man guy.
Dude, that's why I watch that and E3, like for the cringe,
The
even though it's
entertainment and
overused,
the
for the
cringe
cringe,
value, yeah.
and also I like to see the game announcements. But
Yeah, that too. But like nobody cares about what is Game of the Year.
by the way, I love this. Is sorry, you were going somewhere. Go on.
No, I'm just saying, if you really wanted to make like a proper Game of the Year or like a proper category, whatever of the year, then you would have to probably get like a couple, maybe like 100 people together that are actually like really good and at
People that analyze games, reviewers and stuff. Yeah, but a wide collection of people.
Yeah, you need you would need a wide collection of people because people like all is towards their own things.
In
and,
the end,
like,
though,
yeah,
would that solve like? You would still have Red Dead hype within the reviewers. In the end, it's just a smaller collection of people. It doesn't really
yeah, but
change
it had-
much if you can think about
it
it.
kind of does because like how do I explain this? Like there's like those kind of people that just there's a huge amount of people that play nothing but FIFA and they think that FIFA is like the best game ever. And so the next level of that is like, oh, there's like all the people that play like Red Dead and Skyrim, but
Yeah,
they
the
never like
mainstream,
play any
biggest
in-game.
games.
Yeah, the like mainstream sort of stuff. Like they don't play indie games or whatever. And like I would rather have that collection of those people have people that actually play like all video games and not just, oh yeah, this is like, oh, I've played this game. Like a lot of people are gonna vote for, like, you're gonna see this and they're gonna have not played like 90% of the games on that
Yeah,
list. But hey,
absolutely.
I've played Red Dead. Holy shit, that's on the list. I'm gonna vote for that, even though
Yeah, I
I've
mean,
never
that-
played the other ones.
That's kind of what I also have to resort to, though. At some like when I was nominating, I haven't played God of War. It looks amazing, and Red Dead Redemption, Spider-Man, they all look like good games. But I've only played Monster Hunter, and I love that game, so I'm gonna vote for it. Like,
Yeah, and
that's
that's
the
why you
problem
get those
with Game
100
Awards.
people.
Yeah, that's the problem with awards, stuff like that. Yeah, I love the. Let me just put this back up. The sports category. You've got FIFA, Forza Horizon, NBA, Pro Evolution Soccer, and Mario Tennis. Like,
Mario.
Yeah, Mario
This
Tennis is supposed
silly-
to be really good.
no, it looks super fun, and I voted for that one because fuck all these other ones. I mean, sure, sports games have their place, but like Mario Tennis with these, like it's an arcade game with like colorful characters, and it's so funny. It's so funny to see it there.
Yeah, it's so funny to see with all these like realistic dudes and cars. Like,
Yeah. And best student game, open for public. These are
It's-
student games. No one has played any of these. Not to discredit them, maybe they're great, but you can't open a vote like this to the public. No one, guarantee you, 99% of the people playing this haven't played any of these games. Student games, they look really, really indie.
yeah, like are they even released anywhere?
I don't know. Oh, Yoku's Island. I really hope it wins debut, but I love that game, man. It's such a good game. Yeah, best esports game. They have a lot of esports stuff.
Why is Fortnite in best esports game?
I mean, it is esports because it's popular.
I will
Everything
never.
that's popular is esports.
Yeah.
Whether it's random or not, there's still a competitive.
Like
Some-
I see
Hearthstone
four-
is fucking esports.
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
because Blizzard pushed for it. Yeah.
I love-
Is there an actual esports of fucking Fortnite?
yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
PUBG.
there's.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Supposedly.
And even though there's like
I've never
RNG,
seen it.
But
It's
I
just
love-
I see 4 proper esport games and then I see Fortnite.
I like best esports coach. I voted for the guy with 2 headsets on him because he definitely like he's got all the info. 2 headsets.
Best
Nice.
esports coach.
This is such a weird category. Like, even the people
Oh,
who
boy.
watch esports are probably not gonna know the fucking coaches.
Yeah, best esports event.
I
People
know
who
one of
play
them.
League are gonna vote for the League one. People who
Yeah,
play
exactly.
who go to Evo are gonna vote for. It's
People
it's
who
really-
like Overwatch are gonna vote for Overwatch. Like, what?
It's just whatever's most popular, yeah.
Yeah.
Best
Yeah.
esports moment. You need to know all these specific moments from all these different tournaments.
What the
It's
fuck?
and
Yeah,
they
but
should at least. By the way, they should at least have like a video where you can play and watch the moment and be like, oh, that was actually pretty. I don't watch fighting games, but that was pretty cool. You know?
Yeah, but not even
Yeah.
that.
Like,
And
I
then
watch
who-
a bunch of esports, but like, I know of the hosts, I know
good boy.
Golden Boy a tiny bit, and I know Shocks, and that's it. That's like all I know.
Well, guys, who do you think will get Content Creator of the Year, though?
I don't know any of these guys except Ninja because he's just the biggest name. I
that's
wonder who's gonna win. I've literally never heard of these. Like, not even. There's no other big names here.
Really?
Not a single other big. I don't know any of it.
I wonder who will win. Will it be
Okay.
Ninja because
They
he's
must be
playing
streamers.
Fortnite?
Are
Or
they
will
streamers,
it be
Thomi?
Ninja because he's playing Fortnite?
Well, Pokimane is a streamer. Rex I've never heard about. Ninja,
They're probably
obviously.
all streamers
Uh,
because
Myth-
I
Myth
don't go on
is-
Twitch. So
Myth is like some dude from TSM. I think he streams Fortnite. I'm like 90% sure of that. I don't know where he's coming from.
Well, the question is, how many of these 5 people do not stream?
Yeah, that's a bit of
Yeah.
a. It's like best content creator. It's like they're all making the same fucking shit. It's
Yeah.
like,
yeah, like at least content creator last year was kind of diverse. They had I think Boogie won last year. But
Oh.
he's also pretty different to Angry Joe, and I think Total Biscuit was nominated, and there was just like, I mean, TB won one, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know, it was a bit more diverse. This seems to be a bit.
yeah, this is just Fortnite streamers. Like,
Maybe we're
what-
just too old. I don't fucking know.
I'm
man.
at the awards this year. I'm more curious about the announcements they will make.
Yeah, they've got
Like,
exclusive games, so I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
watch it
Have
for
you
sure.
heard about Kojima
Yeah, Kojima
and-
might be on.
and Alien?
Alien is also getting the
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
IP.
Kojima and Alien
Together. Ooh.
together.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna watch it, man. I'm curious. Oh, by the way, something really interesting. Oh, I should check my Twitter and see. EA did this weirdest thing yesterday. They were running it for 24 hours. If you message them with the hashtag TryBF5, they would give you a trial code for Origin Access for 7 days to just play whatever game you want on
Wow, why
Origin
didn't you
Access.
tell me?
Because I was too late. I sent them a message in the last like 10 minutes. Let's see if I got it. No, they didn't reply.
Well,
So
7 days of like that's normal access, right? Not the premium.
yeah, but it's
That is
free. Like
weird.
I would have played Mirror's
Yeah,
Edge
but
2.
it's
I would have
like-
played Titanfall. I would have played Battlefield.
It's not that much money. It's like you get a month for €4.
Yeah, but dude, you could like
Yeah.
complete a game in that time. You can try loads of like. It's,
sure, I'm not disagreeing on that, but it's like, yeah, it's not.
You
And
can
I'm just
also
saying-
pay 5
Okay,
euros.
Rage, you have to think about the fact that some people don't have money, you know?
Yeah, but it's one like, yeah, whatever.
I mean, but also, I'm just saying it's weird that you would have to message them with the hashtag and then they'd send you a code. Like, it's so weird. It was so
Yeah,
weird to me.
Yeah,
it's
but
weird
how
that
else
it's a
would they
private message. It's a private message. That's weird. Like, not a tweet at them.
Or it might have been at them. I'm not sure. But I mean, you say how else? Like, I don't know. Make a page on the website where you click and it gives it to you.
That's
Log
so
in
much
with your
effort
Origin.
if you can utilize Twitter.
I think this is weird. I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of funny. Another article, slightly deviating from gaming, but you know how you know how Goff can't use his ray tracing on his new 2080 Ti because he can't update Windows October update. There was
boy.
a statistic where apparently as few as 2.8% of Windows 10 PCs have applied the October update. 2.8 of PCs have updated the October update, and it's December.
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy
had
to me.
issues with it.
Well, it
like-
worked. It worked fine for the not commercial. Yeah, for the commercial sector actually. Like we applied all the updates without issues because we are.
I mean,
utilizing
maybe
it, so-
many people got it fine, yeah,
but,
but
in the private
that's really
sector,
funny to me.
it is a mess.
that's really
Jesus.
funny to me.
Fucking
So
2%. That's
Guff
so-
is not alone.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. So when you're a fucking like software company and you make a thing that only 3% of everyone managed to
yeah,
get
yeah.
it successfully. That's pretty bad.
Well, now we
Um,
have to wait 2 weeks and then see if they will fix it or not.
Yeah.
Again,
Let's see. I have a few more games I can talk about. Do you guys have any news articles you want to talk about before we move on to the games we've played?
Nothing
Something
really.
interesting that you might have.
Well,
seen?
I mean,
I guess yours is kind of news to me. Yeah. You
yeah. I don't know how many of your viewers play. You guys didn't play WildStar, from what I've known.
We talked about it.
Yeah, I know. We've talked
Oops.
about
Yeah,
it.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, WildStar unfortunately died. It's like last Wednesday, 28th of November. It
These
finally.
are just some screenshots that Simi took, by the way, in the last like week of WildStar.
Yeah,
basically.
I took some screenshots of my characters and like I had 12 characters, dude. 12 characters. And yeah, I took some screenshots of characters, places. I like took screenshots of fucking like all the shit I had, just in case, like all my items, whatever. Uh, but yeah, it was pretty fucking sad. Like I stayed until the end, the very end, and there was like a little event they did.
Like everyone
where-
gathered up in one
yeah,
place
like
for the game's death.
I've never seen so many people. Actually, I should show you the screenshot of that, of all the people. Like, because the game was dying, there weren't that many players. Like, many times I saw maybe like, I don't know, fucking one player at a time. But now it was like, I don't know, 100 or something. It was fucking crazy.
It reminds me a little bit of like I haven't seen the screenshot yet, but reminds me a little bit of when they shut down that WoW server Kronos.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's like when they got rid of the vanilla WoW service. Here, I posted a screenshot, and that's not even all. Like it was even more. Like, but yeah, there was an event, and it was like,
Oh my god.
look at all those names. Like you can't even understand anything, and it got even worse or better or whatever later. And my game was so super laggy. I had a friend in the crowd and I was trying to find them, but it was fucking impossible. Like I couldn't read the name, I couldn't see their model because they were just lost in the fucking crowd. Yeah, and it was how MMOs have like rail messages or whatever. It's just a message that appears
A
on your
public
screen.
broadcast.
Like
of
the
everyone.
Yeah, public broadcast like from the devs, and it's like in the middle of the screen, and it was like one of the characters in the game speaking supposedly, and it was like, oh, it seems there's a countdown here, how peculiar. I don't know, they made it kind of funny, but the closer it got to the finale, to the moment it died, it just got more sad. It was like, oh, there's 5 minutes left, I guess it's time to say our goodbyes or whatever. And everyone, there's like all these hundreds of people, and everyone in the chat was like, oh, I love this game, I love you guys.
Oh, I feel so sad for the devs, honestly.
Yeah, dude, the devs. I think there were devs there in those gatherings, and we were doing some crazy, funny shit. Like they were transforming everyone into cupcakes, into goats, and then there was in the game. There's this mount that's like this giant gummy cat, and they did like a conga line where they went in a circle with like a million of these cats, all the people who had these things, and it was really funny and also sad, and just everyone was dancing. Like at some point we were dancing and I was saying in the chat, like, I think we should all be crying instead. And I have a friend who like played 6,000 hours of this game or whatever.
Oh
and
shit.
She told me, and she has like a guild and all that, and she told me that they were all in like a chat, in the voice chat, so many of them, and they were all crying while playing the last moments. And that's so sad. Like I fucking got sad. Everyone in the chat was like, oh, crying and shit.
It sucks with always online games. Like also Gigantic died recently because like when games stop being supported, old Hitman games you can still play them. There's nothing wrong with that. But something that needs an always online server, like an MMO, like Warcraft or WildStar or Gigantic, you can't ever play those games again. I mean, people hopefully will create some private servers to kind of retain the game. Like that happens with all MMOs. So but yeah, it sucks to see, and it was a cool game. It was cool for an MMO, especially.
To be honest, I feel like, I mean, this would have been effort, I guess, but I wish because the game kind of is better without players, honestly. Like I played, because not many people were playing it. When I was playing it, I was basically playing single player, but when there was a person, it was annoying because it's like shit takes a while to respawn, and it's like I can't even imagine what it would be like with many people. Like I have to wait for fucking ever to pick my thing or kill my enemy. You know, so it's like they could. I feel like they should have made it single player. Like just fuck the servers, but just give me the game on my
Yeah,
computer
it's
to
just
play
effort,
by myself.
'cause
Yeah,
like
I know
that-
it's effort and they're not getting paid. Like I get
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
but I don't know. I think that would have made everyone happy because at least you could still go in the world and shit, and you know.
Yeah.
If it was still online, I would have probably like started with you. But for me, just like not like already seeing, hey, this is like going down within the next couple weeks. I like if I get into an MMO, I get fucking invested. Like
Yeah, and to just know that it's gonna be over. Like I stopped playing an MMO at some point. I think it was that one of those ones where you're like an angel, like Ion or something.
Aeon, yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was playing as a kid, and I remember exactly where I was. Like I flew up to a tower, and I was like mining a crystal underneath, and I was talking to some random person there, and he was like, "You're on a beta build. This is gonna be lost in a week." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm done." And I just uninstalled the game right there because there's no point. Some people obviously are fine with it, but yeah, I'm not gonna invest my time if I know it's gonna be gone in a week.
Yeah, so I had 489 hours in WildStar, and you know a lot of that is like fucking me being idle, so I'm not
Yeah,
even.
yeah.
So it's not even that much considering MMOs. You know, like I told you, my friend had 6,000 hours. You know, like that's
Yeah.
maybe even more. I don't fucking know. That's insane. And I just feel I fucking hate myself right now because I could have played WildStar for like all these. You know, it's been up for like what 2 years or something. 3?
Years, yeah.
Yeah, 3 years maybe. And I could have played this whole time. Like I played it a bit at the beginning. I played the beta, you know, so I got like beta rewards. So I was a cool boy. And then I played it later when it came out, and then I stopped. And then I started playing it now in the last few months, and I'm really annoyed at myself that I wish I played it more, you know.
Is there any private servers coming up of this? Maybe.
I think people are trying to, yeah.
Yeah, I think people. There's 2 private servers that I know of. One is more legal than the other one, I guess. I don't want to talk too much about it, but either way, they're gonna be months, maybe
People will
even
find a
years.
way.
Yeah, I'm
People
just
will find
saying
a way, yeah.
until they get it to work, I think it's gonna be months or years. So that's.
And honestly, I don't see any reason to stop them if they're not providing the service anymore anyway.
You
It's
could
like
say the same thing about Blizzard. Sorry.
yeah,
keep going.
exactly. You could say the same thing. It's just. It doesn't work like that.
The slight argument for Blizzard is Warcraft is still the same game but modified.
No,
I guess.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah, but it's
updated,
not
I
the
mean.
same game.
It
It's
is
not
not.
the same.
There is a reason why there is quote unquote illegal servers that are not even being like advertised in any ways. Just people look for like old expansions of WoW and play them. The server, yes, I have played on those private servers. Fucking sue me, Blizzard. I don't want to play new WoW. New WoW is like not fun to me. It's
That's
very
my point,
single
though.
player. It's like it technically in like the very, 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 very base structure, it's still the same game. But they modified it to like such a massive degree that it's like 2 completely separate games.
I'm sure. I'm just saying for this, like they don't have a WildStar right now. Like there is nothing, so they shouldn't even go after the private servers. It's like how Nintendo went after NES games that they're not selling anymore in any form. So
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I don't think anyone should be going after something that it's there for archival purposes. Maybe they're finding entertainment out of it, but you know, like it's archival.
it's like
You are not providing this thing in any way possible, even paid, free, whatever. So I don't think you should go after anyone who's archiving it.
Yeah.
But you
In my
would
opinion.
agree that it would be illegal.
I would agree. What?
Well,
It
I
would
know
be
it is
illegal
illegal.
to host
Maybe it's
private
illegal.
servers.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah. But I'm just saying it shouldn't be.
It's yeah, it just makes no sense. Like that thing doesn't exist anymore, anyways.
Yeah,
So
but
it's not like they would lose money or whatever if some random
That's
person.
my only point. Yeah, that's my only point. If the
But it
if the
would be
original creators are not
still-
losing money, then
it would be still their intellectual property. And
Yeah,
they
but
I
they-
know
nobody.
legally.
Yeah, but
Say-
nobody
they have-
thinks nobody thinks that it's the person hosting the server that made the game. Everyone knows that it's Carbine Studios
yeah,
that made
but
the game. You know.
would still have the right as someone owning intellectual property to
I mean-
say, I do not wish for anyone to.
I get it,
Also
but
as
they
the server
they
with-
they
like-
want the game to exist. It's fucking.
Ah, developers, yes, but I have
Yeah.
no idea who holds the rights.
we
Even
we
on the
agree with you,
private
Rage. We
servers.
know that written on paper, the IP owner has the right, but we're just saying it shouldn't be like that. In an idealistic world, using our logic, if they are not losing out on anything, like they do not provide anymore, there's no reason to not. Like, it would be sad if we lost dinosaur bones. Like, it's the same kind of idea. Like, we want to still be able to hold on to this thing that was back then, and we want to be able to access it now. You know, I'm not writing the dinosaur bones necessarily, but like, I want them there. So,
well, it
people
depends.
who do want to write them.
In this case, I suppose it depends on who is holding the IP. If it's the developer, sure, but if it's some kind of publisher, they might interfere.
Yeah, honestly, I personally don't care at all about that. For me, it's just, is this thing there and playable as it was in the old days? If they made it that like WoW was still like the same thing over like through the expansions, and you could just like be stuck in that one expansion, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, sure, forbid all private servers. But they're not like doing that. Like the thing, I spent like a good half year on a private Wrath of the Lich King server for a while, and that's stuff that like you can kill there. Like, you really need the 25 or 10 people for all the content there, and it's really, really difficult. And there was a lot of stuff that was like as it was in the old days, essentially. And if I did the exact same thing on the live servers, like on the next day, and you can just go there and literally hit the like raid boss once, and it's over.
Wow. Why would they do that? That sounds stupid.
Like every expansion, you could go back into the last expansion with like or like let's say 2 expansions back, you can always solo that shit. You can solo everything.
That's fucking stupid. Like the way they did it in WildStar, like it's just, you know, you level up normally, and obviously like if you're level 50 and you go into a level 1 area, you're gonna insta kill everything, you know. But with like shit like dungeons, they make it's like you can either do them at the level they start at, you know, and then again you can be OP, but you can make them, there's like prime versions of the dungeons, and they scale with you, and you will always have, you know, the challenge. There's never a dull, never like, oh, let me go in and insta kill everything.
That's so weird. Yeah, it seems to me like something they should be able to easily update.
I guess I wanted to complain about some stupid things that are kind of funny. I don't know about WoW, but I mean, I think WoW has voice acting and shit, right? Like,
no, the old one, very, very, very limited. New one all the time.
Okay,
Right.
well, WildStar has voice acting and cutscenes and shit, and it's, you know, nicely animated, whatever. But you can. It was kind of unfinished. WildStar. That's the problem with it, because like they put a lot of effort into dungeons where the characters there's actually voice acting for what they're saying in the speech bubble, you know? But the majority of the game where it's just the normal missions, it's like they just have specific voice lines for an emotion like hello or whatever, but the character's actually saying something else in the speech bubble, you know?
Oh boy.
And that would be okay, but the problem is the speech bubbles go away so fucking fast.
And they're tiny.
And they like hover above the character, and if the character moves, the fucking bubble moves with them, and it's like, let me fucking read.
It's like they don't want you to read their story or something.
But luckily you can fucking make some settings to have the dialogue of the character appear in the chat, you know? And that's okay, except the fucking color of that dialogue is this fucking shitty blue, like dark turquoise color that blends in with everything, so most of the times it's fucking hard to read anyways.
Like everything working against you enjoying the story.
And
boy.
It makes no sense. Like sometimes, like the longest fucking speech bubbles that take forever to read, those go away the fastest, but then they leave the like 2 words forever. Like what? I don't get it. And yeah, so
that sounds like a translation error to me, honestly.
It's not. It's Western. It's not.
Yeah, it's a Western.
It's a super Western. Well,
I didn't know.
At some point, they wanted to make it more appealing to like Asian countries, so they added character customization, like faces that looked more anime.
For each species.
Not all of them, but
not all of them.
I think for most of them, and only one, you know. But other than that, it's like super Western. Like it looks all like Disney.
It looks like all the faces are super interesting, and then you go to the Asian market face that they added per species, and it's like
The most boring one.
Yeah, they're the most boring one. I don't know. I don't mean to be rude, but it's like, yeah, they're. You can tell that they're like kind of anime-fied, and they're just like, I'll go with the more interesting ones.
I liked one of the Asian faces. It was one of the pictures you put, where it's like it's anime, but at least it looks pretty and interesting and not boring. Because like there's this species of rock people, and they're like really caricaturized, right? Like especially the females, they look so fucking caricature.
I always say that they look like out of Hercules, the Disney, Disney animated. Like they look super, caricatured.
Yeah, and then you have the Asian one where it's just like a normal human face, and it's like,
it's really weird.
It's
and is that even true? Would the Asian market be more interested in a more bland face? I don't
know, dude. I have no. Like, I get the anime ones, but not.
Maybe they're doing their research. I don't know. I have no idea.
I keep going on tangents. Like I wanted to say something else about the way the game works with dialogue and stuff. Oh yeah, I wanted to say another thing about dialogue. Like, sometimes you do these like things where there's like events happening where characters talk to each other and shit. But sometimes they don't make a sound when they start talking, and it's like maybe you're fighting a fucking monster, and then these two important characters start talking to each other, saying important things, and you fucking miss it because they're to your right or something while you're fighting a monster. And it's like, how am I supposed to read this moving speech bubbles that go away so fast, and also while I'm fighting this fucking boss? You know, like, well, where do you think? Like, that's why they should have put voice acting. If there was voice acting, I could just listen to it, you know, but they didn't.
Or just not have shitty fucking design and put enemies next to NPCs that what you have to talk to.
Yeah, but these were enemies that I had to fight. Like, literally, that's the dungeon. Like, it's like, oh no,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, oh no, go fight this creature right now. While you do that, I'm gonna talk to this guy about important stories.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's like what?
Literally, from any playtest, you would have seen that would happen. But maybe all the playtesters didn't care about the story and didn't report it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
Again, that's why like the most effort went into some like most of the dungeons, but not all of them, where it's like they actually added voice acting, so you didn't need to look at the fucking speech bubbles. Yeah, and there are other problems with the games, but maybe next we'll go to them.
Another 1 hour segment on WildStar.
Yeah, we are now a WildStar podcast.
But
we were a Dota one and then WildStar.
Fucking R.I.P. WildStar. I'll miss you, and I'll miss all my 12 characters. I love them all. And
oh my god, another thing I don't understand how playtesters didn't pick up on when I played Far Cry 4 today. Like, I thought it was fucking bad enough in For Honor when they treat you like a toddler and you need to press each button to interact. Like, oh, I want to play a game.
God,
Hold A for 2 seconds. Okay, let me modify my character. Hold A. Because you're a baby and you can't just fucking check what you're... And what's the worst that'll happen? You click the wrong thing and you go to the wrong screen? Oh no. In Far Cry 4, you have to fucking... In Far Cry 4, you have to hold E for the game as well. Like, pick this flower, hold E. Get in this car, hold E. Open this door, loot this body, hold E.
Yeah.
And Far Cry is like such an intense game. Like, oh shit, there's fire everywhere. I'm shooting enemies. Get in the car. Wait. Okay, now you're in. And like, oh my god. And also, every looting animation takes forever. Which, by the way, is copy pasted from Far Cry 3. I haven't played Far Cry 3 in like 6 years or something, and I still recognize the animation. Like, it's copy pasted.
Nice.
But in the options, there's an option to like disable loot animations, so I did that immediately. But also, Far Cry 4 has the most aggressive eagles I've ever seen in any game.
Eagles?
Have any of you played Far Cry 4?
No, I've played 3 and 5.
Rage, you've played Far Cry 4. Oh, he was...
Yeah,
Rage?
I did.
You played Far Cry 4, yeah. The eagles, like, I mean, I'm just minding my own business and then you hear... And like, you look in the sky and they just fucking attack you and reduce you to half health.
I don't know about eagles, but the honey badgers, Jesus.
I haven't encountered any honey badgers yet. But like, the eagles are everywhere, man. Like, get it. Mind your business.
You had the same problem as I had in 5. I think we talked about this a little bit. Like in 5, I didn't play too much because it's like, oh, whatever. It's another Far Cry. It's another Ubisoft game. Played 1,000 of them. But like, I remember there was like one house where I really wanted the key for. I knew there must be a key somewhere because the guy like said so. And yeah. I just like looked around. I couldn't find the damn key. So I was around that house for like 15 minutes. But I just wanted to search for that damn key. And I was like, in those 15 minutes, when I was done, there was like like 10 cars just on the road with dead people all around them. I was attacked by a bear. I was attacked by I don't even remember what it was, but like I was attacked by like 2 different animals. I was attacked by like 10 different people that just ran across the road and like, oh look, there's a guy, let's shoot at him. And then like, oh my god, I couldn't get a break.
Wait, what game is this?
Far Cry 5.
Right.
And like I remember shortly after, like out of fucking nowhere, there was just enemies with a helicopter chasing me, like
What
for no
the
reason. Like
Sounds
the
like
game
GTA when you like rob one guy and you have 6 stars by the end.
Yeah, when you have 6 stars, like it's just like I just wanted a break for like a minute, but all the time there was shit happening. It just forced itself so hard onto you.
That sounds really annoying.
Was the same in 4?
Yeah, that's no, I've never had that experience in any of the Far Cry games I played. I played 2, 3, and 4. I haven't tried 5 though, so maybe that's a thing for that game.
Yeah, I didn't remember that from 3 either, but like 5 was like, oh my god, it just like all the time shit was happening.
One other thing that really annoyed me though about Far Cry, like, again, do devs just not give a shit or test or think at all? Because I just opened the Ubisoft overlay to see something, and I just see a list of achievements. Like, I just started the game 10 minutes ago. I've only got 1 achievement. And next to my unlocked achievement, right under it, is a locked achievement about a major spoiler that is completely unhidden. Like, what the fuck? It's literally the first locked achievement that appears. Like, if you start the game, you only have 1 unlocked achievement, and then there's the spoiler, and it's not hidden like on Steam where you have hidden achievements and stuff like that. Like, okay, cool, thanks for spoiling your own fucking game because I opened your shitty overlay.
Oh my
I
god.
had the same thing happening in Yakuza with like, I don't think they about the story spoilers. I don't think they care too. I don't think they spoil anything story wise, sort of. But game mechanics wise, it's like, you do a thing, like anything. It's like you can unlock. For example, there's like a thing that you can unlock, and you like hover over it, and it tells you can unlock this by doing this. I'm like,
by killing this person that you are friends with, or something like that.
Like, you could do this by like playing this part of the game or something, and it's like all over the place like that. Or like if you go to this telephone, you can do this thing which you really didn't expect that you could do, but it kind of spoils part of the story. And like, what? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Just be a bit more care. It's like Simina was saying about WildStar. Like, just care about delivering your story properly.
Okay, I think in WildStar was unfinished. Like, it was known that it was unfinished. Like, they were
I don't think it was unfinished. There were things they wanted to add, but I think all the stuff you're talking about with the dialogue was
I think they wanted to add voice acting for everything. Because I told you, in some place in like the very beginning of the game, like, there was just the same shit, like a bunch of NPCs walking and talking to each other, but it was all voice acted, and I was like, wow, this is cool. It's all voice acted, you know?
Maybe. Yeah.
But then later they stopped doing that. Also, I just remembered another stupid thing about WildStar. I don't know why the Eagles thing kind of reminded me of this. It's not quite similar, but it reminded me of it. So when you fight an enemy in WildStar, if you run far away enough, they like reset and they don't chase you anymore. They go back and they get full health again, right? And it happened to me quite a fucking few times, and it's really frustrating, especially when you're fighting some like really hard enemy that has a lot of health and it's tanky and shit, where it's like you fight it and it's like almost dead, but it's like, oh no, you took 1 step too far from its radius, and it's like, oh, fuck off. It just gets full health and walks back again.
Yep,
and you have
that's
to start over.
Instantly. I hate that shit.
But like,
man, MMOs, I fucking hate
but
MMOs
dude,
sometimes.
this thing was so inconsistent because like when I'm fucking trying to run away from it, like I want to go somewhere and there's enemies everywhere and they start chasing me. They fucking chase me for fucking ages until they go back. But then this one enemy that I want to kill, and he's hard, I make sure to like stay close to it the whole time, and then suddenly like I step like 1 fucking step too far, and it's like, oh, okay, bye.
Yeah, that's awful.
And it just resets.
This is
So
really
annoying.
consistent, and wow, I didn't even consider that could be like an issue somewhere, because like in WoW, it's just you pull the enemy, and then I can tell you down to the second about when the enemy is going to turn around and leave.
No. In WildStar, it could fucking, I don't know if it's based on which enemy or their size or some shit, but Some
Yeah.
enemies chase you for fucking ever, and others you take two
Well, not
steps
that I can
away
try
from
now.
them. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Shed a single tear.
People rip.
I
Yes.
started. I just a few more games that I played for the first time. I played Majora's Mask finally, Legend of Zelda.
Oh boy.
So I don't know, first episode we talked about Ocarina of Time, playing it for the first time. I loved that game so much, and I was like, oh, the creepy stuff surprised me so much. And I know Majora's Mask is kind of all about that, so I was really hyped for it, and it let me down a little bit.
Really?
And I'll tell you why. So you start the game. Most people have probably played Majora's Mask. If not, you should definitely go play it. I'll try to keep it spoiler free as much as I can.
Dude, it's a 10-year-old game.
I know,
Them.
but hey, dude,
20
I'm
years
glad I didn't have it spoiled for me. Like, well, it can be considered. I'm just
like
warning
a
you.
spoiler warning or something. Whatever.
If there's a spoiler, like I'll mention it beforehand. But yeah, you start off the game, and okay, obviously I need to talk a little bit about this, but yeah, like I mean, the world is basically gonna end in 3 days, and you find yourself like so helpless. Like you can't do shit, and that's the cool thing about the game. Like when you get towards that 3-day cycle towards the end of it, like the only thing you can do is reverse time, because you can't solve the problem immediately. And I really like that. Like for just this ominous fucking dread, awful feeling of like the world is screwed, dude. Like all I can do is just delay this. That's it until I can deal with it. That was cool, but gameplay wise, it got pretty annoying sometimes. Where I'm like exploring a place and I got a bomb from a Goron, and then I'm like, but I only have 1 day left. I can't explore the dungeon. Let me reverse time, and I have to unfreeze this place and then get the Goron bomb again and shit like that. And it was just like,
Did you discover the song of like slowing down time? I forgot what it's called.
Yeah. You can slow down time a little bit, yeah. But I mean, it came with some really cool things, like being able to follow villagers around, and they actually have a life that they're living and stuff, and you solve their problems. And I didn't realize that so many games borrowed from that. Probably Majora's Mask was one of the first few to do it.
Yep.
Like yeah, the time aspect did add a lot of really cool things, but it also added a bit of frustration sometimes. Like I liked Ocarina of Time, where I helped someone and that was it. Like I'm done. I'm completing this world entirely. But Majora's Mask, it was a little bit kind of annoying to have this stressful situation all the time. Again, it kind of benefited it as well, because you know, stress like gave the world some sort of meaning, I guess.
Yes,
but it was also a little bit like frustrating sometimes. I just wish that maybe when you completed an area, maybe that area stayed paused in time or some shit like that.
I mean,
also, it's kind of like when you think about it, you help people. And there are some rewards that when you, like most of your items, when you reverse in time, you lose them. But there are some key items that you'll keep, like a mask, for example. But like you help people and then they give you this permanent item and then you reverse and then their life is still screwed because you'd never helped them in this timeline, I guess.
Have you finished the cafe storyline finally?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an interesting side story.
Dude, I really love that one because like, spoiler for the side story, because they like you do everything just to get like those two people together, and they die in the end anyways. It's like it's so sad. And also that was something that's maybe why Majora's Mask like stuck to me. I played it as a kid and like just found it scary, but like, it had much more impact on me. That's okay. A little bit off topic. Do you guys remember like 2012 when everybody was like, the world is going to end?
Yes.
And also the year 2000, people were.
And I played Majora's Mask in the last 3 days before like that date when the world was going to end.
Oh my god!
Like I replayed
it was like
for
immersive.
the first time since my childhood. Yeah, it was really fucking weird, man. Like that's probably like one big part why I like this game so much. But like
that's funny.
The whole what really gripped me, especially when I replayed it, was like the atmosphere is so insane. Like,
dude, it's really good. It's really good.
When like it starts with the 3 days.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
You look up and the moon is like really far away,
and you're like, God, that is a gross ass, creepy looking moon. Yeah, okay, moving on.
people like start getting more hurried in the town. The music changes a little bit. It gets a little bit faster.
And the moon is like,
The
Is
moon
it
is a bit
closer?
closer. Yeah, maybe it is
I'm not
closer.
sure.
I don't know.
Me and Cindy were like, is that? I don't know. Is it?
And then I noticed that you can actually see it moving.
Yeah, you can see
Yeah,
it
yeah.
moving a little bit.
Yeah.
And then on day 3, the music gets like real fast and really hectic, and everybody
Dude,
you can see like
I love the music. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
Yeah.
The music in day 3 is like, I love that you still hear the jolly town music, but also this like just creepy and like this dissonant music between these two tracks.
yes,
It's like so stressful, like, oh my god. And especially when you open the game, you're still in Deku form and you're like, oh my god, I'm running out of time. I'm fucking stuck in this form. Like that was really great. The opening of the game was really gripped me.
and like people start leaving, and you can see the entire town. A lot of side quests are about this. Like the entire town is leaving. Some people are like conspiracy. They're like, oh, this is all a conspiracy. The moon is not falling down, even though it's really big in the sky. And they just stay in town, or like kids, parents sent their kids away. And I don't know if you saw that part of the side story, because it's like a very pretty hidden one. There's this
Yeah, go ahead.
dojo master who like you
What
have
master?
the guy in the dojo. The like weapons
He like
master.
he trains you how to slash yourself
Yeah,
or some shit.
yeah. On the last day, or on the last night rather, when the moon is about to fall down, you can find him like in the back of his shop, like just shaking and
Oh my
waiting
God,
for
that's
everything
so-
to end.
That's
Even
sad.
though-
Yeah, the game is sad, man. The game is really sad.
And then like on the last day, the moon is like really fucking big in the sky, and you're like, oh my god, it's really happening. And then you think it's over at like the last day because it always says 72 hours remain or 30 hours remain or whatever.
Yeah.
But the last day really only ends at 6 a.m. on the next day. So the last like 6 minutes is like the music just stops. And
It's
it's
so
like,
intense. And
it's
like you hear the
really-
bell ringing constantly.
it's really eerie. The ground is shaking like crazy, and like it's just insane. The entirety of that game is insane, and that is a game for fucking kids.
Yeah, dude, that's my absolute favorite thing from the entire Zelda series that I've played so far, because I'm playing them all in order. Like the creepy shit in these two games, like I love it. I'm in love with the aesthetic, and I said that with Ocarina of Time and the atmosphere. Like, it's just great, man. It's so creepy. So
Can
fucking
I
creepy.
can I just say that one thing that I think is creepy, and I don't understand why it's like this. It's when Link puts the transforming masks and he looks like he's in so much pain transforming
Yeah.
into the other creatures. It's like the cutscene is so like, what the fuck?
I just love it, man. Like, to me, I grew up, I just had an NES. That was my only Nintendo console. And then after that, I quickly moved to PS1, and I've, been doing that. Like, to me, I grew up like Nintendo is child friendly and stuff, because that is what they are. But if you
Yeah.
play these two games, it's like, oh my god, I can't believe they made this, and I love it. It's so fucking, like, it could scar some kids, and I'm not even saying that lightly. I really think it could,
Oh,
like,
I was scared.
yeah. But it's the good kind of scary where it's just like, because sometimes scary stuff is exciting,
It's like
really is.
courage. It's like courage.
It is like courage. It's also like the sad moments and stuff. Like,
yeah,
I really
it's
love
because it's like that mix of like scary, eerie, and sad and cool.
Yeah, I love it, man. So that my only complaint about it was just the time thing got a bit tedious sometimes. That was it. And also, two other complaints actually. I think the boss fights weren't as interesting as Ocarina of Time.
I agree. The dungeons are not great.
Maybe apart from like 2 or 3 of them, which I thought were really cool. Like I remember the frog guy bouncing around, so that was fun. But yeah, and the music from the dungeons, like all the songs from the previous game were great, and then this one was just like monotonous and noise, not in a good way. Apart from maybe 2-3 songs that were really catchy, and the others were good they were brought over from the previous game. But anyway, yeah, overall, I'm glad I finally played it. Really fun game. Have I played the best of the Zelda series now, or like, because I'm sad if that was the best that it'll get, like.
Kind of. It depends. The thing is, people like
It's preference, of course, yeah.
Yeah, it is preference, and I'm telling you, the other Zelda games they're on the same level. They're
According to
definitely
you.
on the
Okay.
same level.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna play them all. I'm looking forward to it.
Especially the CDI one.
Yes.
Yeah, the CDI one.
Oh, now that Nintendo isn't being an arse, maybe Simi and me can let's play the CDI one.
Oh, I don't think. I think the cutscenes are gonna be funny and to make fun of them, but I think the game is boring and shit. So
That's why it'll be funny, I think.
yeah, but I think you're gonna
We'll see.
get bored of it.
We'll see. We've played board games before. We're good.
Board game.
Boring games. I mean.
I can tell you though, if you you really liked if you like the ones before, you're really gonna enjoy the next two, which are Wind Waker,
Okay.
Majora's, and
Good.
Twilight Princess. Those are really,
Yeah.
really good games.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited, but I'm enjoying my journey on Zelda for the first time.
Yeah, a bit late, but yeah, better
Yeah.
late than never.
Another game I've been playing, an indie game from a few years ago actually. The second one is coming out soon. Have any of you guys heard of Beholder?
I've heard of it, I think, but
Rage? I don't even know if he's there. Rage?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I think you'll like this game, Rage. So Beholder, you guys have played Papers, Please, though, right?
yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, both these games share the similarity of it's set in like this oppressive, communist-ridden country. And Papers, Please was basically a game about you're at a checkpoint of a fictional country and you need to like x-ray people or check if their passport is in order, and you let them through. If not, the government will kill you and your family. But sometimes people will come with you with a plea for like, oh please, my kid is starving on this side, let me through. Sometimes you might like let them do that. Beholder is kind of the same, except you're in charge of an apartment complex. It's a side scroller. And you've got your family with you who's also starving and all this shit. But you've got people living in apartments and the government tells you to spy on them. And you need to profile them, like send them reports like this person likes music and this person likes to draw a lot and stuff like that. And if someone, and basically every day the government will send you new dictations like imported soda is not allowed anymore. If anyone is drinking soda, report them. And then the police come and take them away and stuff like that.
And they beat them up.
They beat them and they're gone. But
Jesus.
you can like force to evict people. Like one guy wanted to kill me, so I just evicted him. I was like, get the hell out of here, dude, because I found some evidence. You can blackmail people if you're short on money, and like all your family members have the potential to die. So you need to actually try work your ass off. Like
And
I bribed,
you can die.
yeah, and I bribed people to try and get money so I can save my child. And but people will make you feel so shitty, and sometimes you can help neighbor. Like it's so cool, man. Like it's just so fun, and the ominous feeling again of just like this oppressive life sucks for everyone. But some people are good. We're trying to, like, someone helped me out of the kindness of their heart, and then I found an illegal item from them, and I just didn't report them because I didn't want to do that.
Don't you get
It's
like
great.
randomized laws as well?
Yeah. One was you're not allowed to cry in front of the building.
I think there was one where it's like you can't eat apples.
Yeah, here, let me send you guys the
Like
game.
if you find someone who has apples, you have to call the police. Like that's so ridiculous.
It does
Or
look really interesting, yeah.
Here you go. Here's a link in case you want.
I was
Yeah,
really bad at
I
Papers,
wanna
Please, though.
You were what? Papers, Please? What'd you say about it?
I was really bad at that. Holy shit. I cannot.
This is a hard game, dude. I've died at this like 5 times. So
It looks really interesting.
and you need to like break in when they're out of the house. So you can like look through the keyhole, make sure they're not home, and then you install cameras in their fire alarms and stuff so you can spy on them. It's a really, really fun game. I don't know how I got it from in a bundle or something. Sorry, what, Rage?
It's not the same developer as Papers, Please, though, right?
No, not at all.
yeah, no,
It
the
has the same
gameplay
vibe.
is different. But
It's a very similar vibe. And you can choose who to move into your apartment, and like you can read a small bio like this person just wants to be here for a bit, or this person is looking for a long time but hates kids, and you can choose like, well, I have problems with this person, do I want them here? And they all have like their own distinct personalities, and you get quests from them, and it's
also
really
the
cool, man.
art style is pretty cool. Like
Yeah, it's very cool.
I like all the people are like shadowy figures.
The only real problem I have with the game is the save system. It only saves when you complete a quest, which might not be often. So you're like playing for 30 minutes and you're like, I have to go now, but I can't save. So you just have to redo the last
that
30
sucks.
minutes again. It
That
doesn't
sucks.
happen that often, but yeah, it's the only real problem. And sometimes the dialogue is a little bit like written kind of weird. But other than that, like really great game. I strongly recommend it. I hope the second game looks good, will be good. It looks 3D and nothing like this, but we'll see. So I hope they
Really?
don't ruin it.
I didn't see it. What does it look like?
Yeah, I'll put it up a little bit.
Well,
I mean, it looks like it's got the same vibe, but it's forgetting 3D. That's not really a problem. But just it seems like you're not I mean, I'm actually glad they're not repeating the same thing again, like apartment complex kind of thing. I don't know. I have no idea what the gameplay is gonna be like. There isn't really any gameplay footage, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be cool. But I recommend the first one, guys. Really cool game. Like a lot of just mind games and just trying to know who you can trust, and like not feeling like a shitty person by outing someone who's a good person, but they're just reading the wrong book or
I was
whatever.
gonna say I love games that make me feel like shit, right? It's like, this person's breaking the law, but they're nice. Do I want to call the
Breaking
police?
the law by reading a book, like, but that's
Yeah,
that's how-
but yeah, it's like there's the risk of you being found out that you didn't do what you're supposed to do, and then they fucking kill you. So, yeah.
yeah. That's all my games I've been playing. Wouldn't mind wrapping up soon because I'm running kind of low on space. Don't want to lose footage like I did in the first episode. Actually, just really quickly, I'll put it out here because it's kind of funny. The first episode we recorded 2 hours with Thomi and George, and I lost the last hour, and so with that I also lost the outro. But I didn't want it to be awkward where it just cuts, so I actually manufactured the outro completely. Like, I re-recorded the outro myself, and then I clipped in laughs from Thomi and George and Simi from a previous recording. I just so it like was natural sounding, but like the entire outro of the first episode is fake. I'm just speaking alone there, but I just thought that was kind of funny. Like, if you go watch it,
YouTube videos.
it's pretty legit. I think it would fool people, but now that I tell
Well,
you
now
that,
it's too late. Now
it's funny.
you ruined
Yeah.
it.
now
That's
it's
funny.
ruined forever.
Yeah.
I mean, you said what games we played. I mean, I started playing Monster Hunter,
Yeah.
and I know you talked about it, but it's my first time, and
I don't think we talked about it that much anyway. Go for it.
well, I like it, but there's also some things that I fucking hate.
Mhm.
And I've experienced that in other, I don't know what games I've experienced
like-
this in, but it's that kind of game where it's like you start attacking, but your character doesn't move. Like when you move the camera, the character doesn't turn in real time.
It's just very
like,
heavy. It's heavy.
It's it's like kind of like tank controls. Like they're just stuck in that direction. Even if you're moving in a different direction, it's like you have to wait for the animation to be done. And I fucking hate that. That's why. And in my mind, I thought, oh, if I choose a fast weapon like the double blades, that won't happen. But no, it's quite the opposite, because the double blades, there's so much animation going on. Even though you're fast, the character like slashes 10 million times in one direction, and the monster might have moved already.
I think it's just you haven't played many like Japanese games like if you play
Have
like
you played
Dark
Dark
Souls and
Souls?
stuff.
Yeah.
She hasn't played Dark Souls, exactly.
Yeah, okay, that explains.
I can totally see how it took me like a minute or two, but now I'm okay with
But
it.
it's just especially because I got spoiled by WildStar again, where in WildStar you move constantly, and you can move while attacking.
Yeah, but the difference
while you're
is-
casting, you can move.
The difference with that though, I think the trade-off is the combat is nowhere near as meaty as games like Dark Souls and Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
feels so floaty.
You don't know.
and-
You say that, but I disagree. I think the fucking combat
fine.
in WildStar
That's my
was
opinion.
like
That's my opinion.
it depends on the class, because like the fucking shotgun sucked, but like with the mind shit I was doing in WildStar, it was super satisfying, because it makes this slash noise when you hit the enemies.
I would
and-
just you don't. I'm just saying, like Monster Hunter, you feel the weight of the weapon. Like if you just and every like obviously it's a lot higher budget as well. Probably, I mean, like weapons interact with things that you hit. In MMOs, a lot of the times it's like very.
Now that you say that, another fucking thing that I think is legit stupid in Monster Hunter is that you can knock your teammates over with the weapons. Like
Again, I like that.
Yeah, I know you like that, but that's fucking stupid. Like you can interrupt their combos and shit, and like why? There's absolutely no
That makes it more
reason.
watchful.
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
it adds a bit of
yes,
skill.
Yes, you say that, but even if you're watchful, because of the fucking tank controls where you can't turn mid-attack and shit, because of that you will hit people. And
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us three have that problem here. So it's
especially
just-
if the monster is like smaller and we're all closer to each other, you will absolutely hit someone. Like
okay, most of the monsters are not small. Like at the beginning where you're starting with like shitty small monsters.
yeah, I know, but I don't
But-
know. I think that's really fucking.
I mean,
annoying.
it was me and Rage had that frustration when we played with a random once who was just like didn't give a fuck, and he was just constantly interrupting us. But if you're most randoms are like mindful, and if you're playing with friends and stuff, and even you, it's just something you need to all learn. Like
okay,
be mindful.
you-
That's it.
yeah, you know, we have friends, but think of all the people who don't have friends and they play online with randoms, and think of all the shitty
That's what I'm saying.
randoms.
No, me and Rage play a lot with randoms to fill our lobbies, and most of them are fine. Like in that regard, and not
Yeah, but
being
you also
mindless
have
to-
each other. Like that's one less slot for a random. But
Yeah,
if
but you're
some, but if you go like completely solo and you play with only randoms, like guaranteed at least every 2 matches there's gonna be some fucking asshole who keeps hitting you, and that sucks.
I see. I get you. I get you. But I think removing that would have just been a hand holding thing. It's just an extra element. I get it. I get that you think that.
It's like in fucking HOTS in Heroes of the Storm where you can body block your teammates. That's fucking
Again, I like that. I like that you need to be mindful and aware that your teammate is weak. Don't walk in front of them. Give them space. Like let them walk out. It's just an extra degree of skill that.
Okay,
people need to
maybe
try.
that is more okay.
I think this is the same
Although
thing.
it's just again because of fucking idiots, everyone
I agree
suffers.
with you. Yeah.
But this in Monster Hunter, I really don't think you should be able to hit your teammates. Like it's just so
To me,
so
it's
fucking.
it's an important element in the same way that you can play a random game with a healer who doesn't do their job and you die for it. Like it's just something that you need to learn to do.
That's a bit different because like
Fair enough.
you
Yeah.
like healing, like that's literally the character's job. You should learn your character's job. But hitting teammates, that's not. That's I don't know. That's to me, it's a flaw. You know, I shouldn't
No, not really.
adapt to a flaw. You know,
It
We can-
depends on the
we can
weapon. Like
disagree.
if you play a weapon that's like really wide swinging and you see, oh shit, I'm hitting my teammates all the time. Maybe I should either learn how to play this weapon or pick a different weapon.
And
Yeah,
Adjust.
but
Yeah, you
what's
adjust.
what's
Yeah.
the point of that weapon existing then? You know.
Well,
In
if
that-
you can always like use a weapon without hitting a teammate. You can always do that. You just like need
Yeah.
to be a bit more careful. Like that's why Dark Souls is so difficult.
Yeah,
It's
but in
because
Dark Souls, you
press-
don't have a fucking teammate knocking you over. It's
You
the monster.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, you don't, but it's still like it's the concept is still the same. In Dark Souls, the combat is even meatier. If you press a button, you're like out of control for like 3 seconds.
It's
with
not
some heavy
mindless attacking. That's
Yeah.
that's the similarity.
Yeah, I
here.
get
So,
it,
like,
but
you need to really exactly calculate when are you pressing that attack button, and if you press it too late or too early, you're either missing your attack or you're getting hit.
I get that, and that would be okay in a game where the fucking monster doesn't move fast as fuck.
Oh,
Like,
they do in Dark Souls too.
yeah, I get it, and I'm saying that's
mean,
bad. Like, if the monster was also slow, I get that, but they're not like there's a fucking monster in Monster Hunter who's like a fucking I don't know. I can't think of an animal now, but it's like moving really fast constantly. It's like it's impossible to hit it with a heavy weapon. You know.
It's not. I've used heavy weapons.
Obviously,
the
I'm not saying it's literally
I
impossible.
know, and I'm
just
also saying it's not that hard. And that's the trade-off. Like with the greatsword, it's like super slow. You might not hit your first hit. You might hit your second though, and it does so much damage because it's hard to hit.
I don't know. When I was when the first day I played and I had the hammer, I couldn't. Like, obviously, in my training area, I was doing all the combos, and I was like, yeah, this is fun. But then I started fighting the monster, and I got hit constantly by teammates. Probably the other.
yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm gonna say.
And it was just awful. I just couldn't.
Yeah, Simi, like that's another thing I think you need to try and separate in your mind. Like the first day you were getting interrupted a lot because we were playing with a new player who also again didn't know how to avoid hitting teammates. Like yesterday, it was just you, me, and Rage. We're both experienced players. Like it was fine, right? Like you got hit once or twice, you know?
Yeah, but I also want to complain that I think there's a way too much stunning in this game and it takes too long.
With the screaming and stuff from the monsters.
Not that is okay. I don't think it's that much. Although there was one monster that did it too much of it, but I don't like that I can get stunned with some cheap fucking monster thing, and then while I'm down, they can still do shit to me. You know?
Again, there's always
Like
ways to avoid it.
I wish you could. I don't know, mash the button to get up faster or something, but it's like you're just stuck on the ground for like 30 seconds, and then you get up and your character's still stunned for another.
But
I don't
then
I
you can, if you don't like that, you can also just, at least in the late game, just get gear that prevents that. Like
Yeah,
where
okay.
you don't get knocked down, or where
I
you
think
ignore enemy roars and stuff.
I
like
think it's
that.
just Simi has like that genre isn't entirely for you. You don't like elements about it. That's fine. Like, you know, I don't play sports games because I'm not into some things about it. So I think it's okay if you don't play these kind of games often. Like, I totally see how they could be frustrating, and maybe you don't even like them even if you played them often. So, but for me, I think it works, and according to Thomi and Rage as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, overall though, I mean, you're saying all this, but
Yeah,
overall,
okay,
you've been enjoying the game, right?
I usually focus on the negative things.
Because people watching this now are like, oh, she fucking hates the game.
No,
Like,
no, I like the game. It's just
yeah, that's fine.
The things that I hate about it are like really there all the time. You know, like I was thinking of writing a joke review, just call it "Being Stunned," the game. You know, but like it looks fucking amazing, and I like the music and the gameplay. Apart from the stiffness, is fun.
Yeah, like you're enjoying learning your weapon and stuff.
Yeah, like it's satisfying to actually hit enemies. I mean,
and I just love the monster interaction. The worlds feel so alive. Like they can bump into a tree and then get trapped, and then like this other monster will come and join the fight. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm gonna throw poo on you. That's a thing in this game. You throw poo on the monster and it goes away.
I love that. That's so funny. Oh, but here's another thing I hate. This is just because it's a console game that's on PC.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because I don't play with a controller. Fuck that shit. Playing with mouse and keyboard. But it's like, some controls make no sense and they're inconsistent. Like, in the hub world, to talk to people, it's left click. But in not the hub world, it's right click. And then sometimes you jump with space. Sometimes you jump with space. Other times you jump with right click. Just you have to fucking guess when. And sometimes you run off of shit to do, like, it does an animation for you to swing on something. But other times you have to do something similar to that but manually. And then to do aiming shit, that's the worst. It's like I'm in the middle of the fight. It's like I have to stop, press shift, press C, scroll through my fucking items, press E to equip the thing, and then aim and shoot the thing. And it's like, that takes so fucking long, and it's so annoying.
Again, I think it's because you're not used to it.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, why don't you move while healing? And it's like, I am, but I need to stop. I can't move and heal at the same time on a keyboard. I have to press it, I stop moving, press healing, and then move. I can't do it all at once.
You're not explaining why. Because they mapped the PC controls awfully. You walk with WASD, but then to use your quick item selection, it's F1. So you need to take your hand off of WASD to move it upwards. Or you can take your hand off the mouse and like move it over. So the PC controls are a mess, for sure. And like aiming with C, and it's really weird.
And space, and sometimes, also space, sometimes it jumps, other times it crouches.
Space never makes you jump. You just jump automatically in the game.
No, what the fuck are you talking about? When you run, you press space to jump forward and roll.
Oh, when your thing is sheathed, you mean?
Yeah, but that's
when
the same on the...
That's a...
No, yeah.
Yeah, when it's sheathed. Yeah, it's a dodge button. It's not a jump. It's a dodge.
Okay, it's a rolling forward, but when you don't run, it crouches, which is like the opposite of rolling over. So it just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, that's just because they made they took the controller the keyboard.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm on a keyboard. There's so many buttons. Put control to crouch and space to jump. Easy.
Yeah, I agree. It's shit.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah.
And it's just, why is it sometimes you press space to jump, other times it's right click? Like, what?
Again, it's like on the controller. A, sometimes B,
also,
sometimes.
I can't tell you how many times mostly in the beginning of the game, I because of other games, I instinctively press E to use something, but no, it's left click to use something, or right click, I don't even remember now. And I press E and accidentally drink a potion or something.
That's different. You just need to get used to the, like,
there is an unwritten, like, convention of
I disagree.
controls.
I don't think that should
like,
be...
most games, it's E or F to use something.
Oh yeah,
it's not...
that's just the inexperience of the developers for PC porting.
Even with that, I mean, if you think, when you really try to like come up with your own control scheme for Monster Hunter, because it was designed for controllers, it's kind of hard to actually come up with a good layout on the keyboard. When you like, I tried to think about it a little bit. I don't think E for use is necessarily the problem. Like, for example, I agree with you with aiming with C. That's a bit weird. That's a like unspoken rule kind of thing.
I mean, can't you just remap it? Is that not it?
You can, I think.
But
I think you can. That's what I'm saying. Even with the remapping, I don't think you can fix it that much because it was just designed with controllers in mind.
But honestly, even getting all the PC or whatever, even just...
Yeah, before we move off of that, sorry. To give credit to the dev team, they have actually done some whole reworks for PC. Some. Like, you can... On controller, it's it's a radial wheel for your tools, but you can actually change it. For some reason, it starts on default controller no matter what. That's stupid. But you can go in the options and change it, and actually you can utilize like a completely new UI. And yeah, so they did rework it a little bit since it released. I just want to point that out. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, even without the whole idea of this was made for a console, even if on the console, I think it's so the whole you have to stop, sheath your weapon, fucking
select the item and then
select the item, equip the item, and then press another button to aim. Like, it should just be you have your fucking get thing on your arm that shoots stuff. Just have that all the time and just have it shoot whenever with one button. Not stop, sheath your weapon, select the thing.
Well, you can select beforehand and load your...
Yeah, exactly. I know you can, but you shouldn't have to do all that.
This game is all about preparation. You can
I also agree with that.
Also to eat, you have to be mindful of your stamina.
Yeah, but
even for example, if a hunt goes longer time because you hunt 2 or 3 monsters, you get hungry, so
you have to eat again.
So you have to eat rations again. Yeah.
I get
Russians.
it.
Rations, yeah.
Rations. I get it, but that's a bit different. That's just like a thing that you do. This is just the way you do it. Like the controls. Like you should just be able to have the same way you. It's like if you had to equip your weapon again every time you want to use it. Do you know what I mean? It's like how you just have your weapon with you and you press one button and it comes out. You should be able to do that with the shooting stuff. Like,
I mean, there needs to be a button to aim and stuff. You can't just have it with one button.
You aim already. Like, you look around, that's aiming. You know, you don't need.
You can fire. No, you can.
You don't need a thing that slightly zooms in a bit and has a little target. Like you can
that's
just.
What you're saying.
You can just aim. Just look in that direction.
It sounds to me like you don't like the having to sheath your weapon to shoot.
It's not just that. It's all of it. Just sheath, select.
Okay.
Press press another button to aim.
Again, I don't want to get too stuck on this, guys. Like, that's fine. That's your.
I do like the game though. I don't hate it. I like to complain.
Fuck all this shit. Good game though. Good game. That's fine. You can.
I like.
You can feel that way.
Although I do have another thing to complain about.
Okay.
Just
say
it's
in
quick.
10 seconds.
It's just I don't like that you can't have cosmetic armor.
I don't like that either. You're forced to, if you want the good stats, you're forced to not look like you might want to look like.
Yeah, like again, spoiled by MMOs and shit, where you can have whatever the fuck armor and then a cosmetic armor over it that makes you look cool.
Well, in late game,
I disagree with you.
When you level up your armor and shit, like for all except the really high level content, like Tempered Elder Dragons, you can look whatever you want and you will still do fine.
Well, that's okay if that happens.
Not however you want, right? There's a few selections.
However you want. I wear whatever the fuck I want when I hunt normal monsters.
You can't wear you can't wear low rank Kuluyaku stuff if
not
you like
low
the look
rank,
of it.
but you can wear high rank Kuluyaku stuff.
Yeah, but it's still shit compared to Rarity 8 stuff.
No, it's not.
Isn't like Kuluyaku
if you
armor...
fully upgrade, it costs more to fully upgrade. But if you fully upgrade, it's comparable to...
But
stuff.
Would it not still be better if you fully upgraded the Rarity 8 stuff?
Yeah, but if you as I said, it is comparable.
It's just you're still at a disadvantage, is the point. If you want to look, maybe...
the disadvantage does better against normal monsters. You can just go on a hunt however the fuck fucking horror.
Yeah, but if you want to find some strong dude, you have to be.
Then you have to look like a clown, but you hit like a
exactly.
I don't think it should be like that. I think if I don't want to
I
look
disagree with you there.
Okay, I'm curious what your argument is for that. Like, why take away the option to just look how you want to look?
In this case, I mean, it's sort of like an MMO. So, like, again, we're drifting back to WoW. But like, in WoW, it's it used to be a really, really big deal, and a lot of people are against what we call in WoW. It's called transmogrification, where you can put on any armor you like visually. But a lot of people are against that because there's like a huge deal with imagine you like go into a town and you're like that's like the whole appeal of WoW. You go into a town and there's a guy and like he has like huge spiked shield and you hear, holy shit, the shield looks fucking amazing. I need that. And then like you see it once and you never see it again because it's such a high level shield that it's really, really difficult to get. And this guy has it. So like there's an element of like you just sit in town and you brag with your gear, and sometimes you look like a fucking dork, but you're like, I have these shoulders, and those are from the very last stand boss, and I'm gonna wear them whether I like them or not. Like it's just like a sort of a status symbol, if that makes sense. So if you like have really high level stuff, like you look a bit dorky, but like it impresses people. It leaves a good impression on people.
Okay,
basically.
I get what you're saying, but that doesn't apply for Monster Hunter because it's not an MMO, and everyone will get all the same armor eventually.
More or less, yeah.
And it's like basically if you go into highest level shit. I haven't played that far either, but I can tell because it's not an MMO. It's not that big. There's not that many armors. And eventually everyone will be able to have all the armor, all the same armor. So because you can't have aesthetic at the highest level, let's say it's a group of people attacking the monster, they will all have the same fucking armor because that's the highest level armor.
Okay,
and that's
Thomi, let me ask you this, Thomi. In WoW even specifically, would you be against it if, I'm not saying they can just like choose cosmetically that easily, like they still need to earn that armor set, but then they can convert it into a cosmetic like layer.
Well,
are you against, because they still earned it? That's all I'm asking for. Like you have to create 2 armor sets maybe in Monster Hunter, one for the stats and then one for the cosmetic, and then you put it on top. I think that's fine. Like if you want to look like and as long as you can always inspect the person to see what they're really wearing, like because you don't want any confusion, fine. But I think giving people the option after they earn it to
that's the problem with WoW again, where like you can have really fucking insane looking shit because that was insane like 2 expansions ago, but it doesn't matter anymore because you can solo it. Like like in
WildStar, it's exactly again I said, like any armor piece you can find, absolutely anything, even weapons, you can make that into a costume.
You have to obtain it first, and then you can turn it into
you
a costume.
can make it into a costume. So because fucking your normal armor is gonna look like shit because there's a lot of shitty helmets that completely cover your head and you don't see your character anymore, and then you put on top of that some crown or some shit, But yeah, like a lot of cool outfits I've made are made out of just normal armor. Then you can color it and shit, And it would be cool if you can do that in Monster Hunter. Like just, I can have whatever the fuck bulky, shitty armor that's really good, but on top of it, I want my butterfly costume. I'm just saying.
I understand that, but like in general, I disagree. I just don't like that concept. I understand it's personal taste, but I really don't like that concept.
Yeah, but also Monster Hunter is more, it's not as multiplayer.
Yeah, you don't go as multiplayer, I agree, yeah.
Like, you can also play it completely alone, and I would like to look how I want to look when I play alone, you know what I mean? And the fact that I have to see some shitty, bulky armor that I'm not into, it's like, man, what's the point of customization even,
I kind of get that, yeah.
Alright, guys, I'm running low on space, so I want to quickly just ask you, Thomi. At the end of last podcast, Thomi jokingly said, "Buy me Marble It Up, and I will race you." And Guff bought it for Thomi 2 minutes later. So, tell me, I'm always happy to hear more about Marble It Up. Like, are you enjoying it? You got the fever, right?
I'm really enjoying it. I need to play more. I haven't played enough.
Yeah, you haven't played it in a while, you said, but.
Yeah,
he got it, and he also immediately started spending time like on the first level trying to beat all of our teams. And Simi as well.
I have a fucking text file open with like just on the side. I have a fucking text file open with like 5 billion different things I wanted to talk about on this podcast.
I would be happy to talk about them, but I'm running out of space, so we actually
I'll keep it. I'll keep it for next time.
Next week.
Yeah, Marble It Up. Yeah, I'm having an absolute blast with that game. It's one of the things that I don't like so much is, as you said in your review, I believe, that like you have to break the level to like get the best times.
I didn't say that.
I don't know. I think you did. Whatever.
That's not negative to me.
For me, it kind of is because it's like, like break the level. Let me just explain like how breaking the level is defined.
Okay, fine. I'll agree with you on the extent of how much you need to break it.
Yeah, there's like, for example, there's like, let's say there's a spiral that like goes up, and you have to go obviously up that spiral. But you get the best time not going up that spiral, but instead you like try and bounce off in a very, very specific way that wall that is behind you to like somehow bounce.
I know exactly what level
up.
you're talking about.
I know exactly the level you're talking about.
And
Yeah.
I felt that only for that level. Like, because normally the normal fast time would be like 20 seconds. But then you go on the leaderboard, like, people did it in 3 seconds. What the hell? And then you watch the ghost and you see, oh, they just bounce like that. I'll agree
that's
with
really
you
dumb.
on levels like that where it's a little bit like, okay, fine.
I've seen one replay of Guff too, where he just like I was like trying to ram into a rock that was like really weirdly shaped. Like just for like 10 minutes, I was like, okay, this doesn't work. This is impossible. So I just completed the level normal in like 20 seconds. I was like, Guff has 6 seconds on this level. I wonder how he did that.
And you just watch the replay. He's just like flying across the whole map.
Yeah,
like,
because he hit that rock at that very specific angle that I was trying to hit. But it's like it's more luck than skill. Because like you can just fucking ram your head into the same rock 20 times, it's gonna work eventually. But
I mean, no, if you watch the ghosts and study them, you can like I've done this. You can replicate exactly where they jump and how they jump. But okay, we're reviewing basically the meta of the game now. It's trying to get the absolute best. Like for me, when I recommend the game to people, it's even people who aren't like good at speedrunning games. It's just like, okay, the level designs are cool and whatever. Like you just enjoy.
Yeah, the levels are really good.
Yeah, and like get it fast the legit way. I think that I recommend the game for that.
Yeah, it's like if you enjoy rolling marbles, it's really, really satisfying.
Very specific thing. Do you enjoy rolling marbles?
I mean, probably everybody like probably played a game like that once in their life. Like I remember when I was a child, I had this game which was called Hamster Ball, and it was pretty much the same thing. You'd have a hamster in a ball, and you'd roll him like through levels and shit. I really enjoyed that, and I haven't played those in ages, and so like Marble App, my jam. But the best part is that's the thing that I've really never utilized in any video game ever. But I had like 2 games where I utilized that recently. One was Devil May Cry, which I'm gonna talk about another time, I guess.
And also you'll have played more of the game next time, so
and like it's just fun to do. Like you look at your scoreboard and you're like, holy shit, sheep has like it's like 0.3 seconds in front of me. I can beat that. So you just sit there and you like try for another half hour on the same level. It's really fun. It's like really satisfying to play, really fun. Great game.
Yeah. Does anybody else have like one quick thing they want to say that they've been playing, or should we just end it? Because it's been 2 hours as well.
I have one thing that like is relatively small, but I'm just like disappointed about, and people are gonna fucking hate me for it.
Oh boy.
I really didn't like Batman Arkham Knight. Let me see. Arkham.
The first
Arkham
one,
Origin.
Asylum. Origin, dude, that's the worst one.
Okay, good to know. Well, I found it in my library. I found the library, and like I was like, oh my god, I have a Batman game. Let's try it out, because everyone was
that's
like,
the
this
worst
game,
one.
This game is like really like Batman, and then like there was so many things that annoyed me. Like first off,
it depends on what. Yeah, tell me.
I'm not a huge Batman fan, but I was like, I'm pretty open to it, but I'm not like obsessed with Batman or whatever.
Sure.
They didn't didn't really introduce anything. It was like, here's a guy, he does bad things, and then they introduced like 10 different. I'm not even kidding. They went through every single bad guy. It was like, this guy does this. He's the Electric Man. This guy, I don't even know. I don't even remember.
Dude, why didn't you ask me? Why would you start with Origins?
I don't know, man. I only have Origins.
Okay, well, yeah, that's like widely. I would say most people agree that's the worst one.
And
it's made by Warner Brothers, not by Rocksteady.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains a lot. Anyways,
I barely remember it. That's how bad it was. But yeah, go on.
I don't know if it has the same combat. It seems like it has sort of the same combat, but it seemed like it seemed. I don't know. It wasn't that great. Like,
if you're not a fan of the combat, then it's gonna be more or less the same like the others.
I fucking like that. That's like the most irritating thing. With my I tried it with my controller. How many enemies can I kill while not moving my joystick? Turns out infinite. Like you press a button and Batman like, I see this guy behind me. He just like exactly. He flies like 3 or 4 meters. There's this guy behind me. I'm just gonna punch him in the dick, I guess. And then like you punch him 3 times, and the other guy behind you starts punching you, so you just counter him, and he turns around and he just flies across the room. You never need, like, I played this game with one hand. I played you can play every single combat section with one hand because
I don't think that's the problem though, because the interesting stuff doesn't lie in like where you move. It's all the new enemy types that you need to then be aware to counter. Like maybe you haven't gone that far, but people have weapons that you need to try to counter. 2 hours. Yeah, that's not enough to like properly introduce all the enemy types. And again, I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna become like, whoa, you're missing out on so much on the combat, but I think you're focusing on the wrong thing. It doesn't matter.
Oh, like, there was so many things. Like the characters were bad. I really didn't like the combat that much. The puzzles were very.
I'm talking about specifically the combat. No, dude. Origins is honestly really forgettable.
Okay.
Like,
I will forget it then.
For me,
also,
a lot of people.
Sorry, really quick. Fucking quick time events. I don't need to open the same vent 8 times, and every single time I'm like, press A.
That's gonna be a thing in all of them.
Yeah, I know that one.
But you don't need to mash that crazy. By the way, it's just like
I know, but it's like why? Why can't you just be a normal person and open the vent like a normal man?
Well, because he's not a normal man. He's gotta like pull it open.
He's Batman. He probably can like. He's like a millionaire. He can probably afford a crowbar.
Yeah, Batman with a crowbar.
A bat bar. Crowbat.
Crowbat.
Yeah, I mean, Asylum is the first one. Really, a lot of people think it's the best one because it's so not open world and very, I think, unique. It like kind of brought Batman back into the limelight, or like superhero games in general. It was a really interesting take, I think. And everything is much cooler. The atmosphere, the character building and stuff. I think it's a really good game. But for me, City was probably the best, the sequel. But Origins is definitely the worst. I honestly wouldn't have even, I would have said skip it unless you really liked the others. And that's not to say that like it's so different. Like I said, the combat is gonna still be the same or whatever, but just overall the other games are better games. So
okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's my thingy.
Opinion.
My thingy. Let's end it, guys, because I don't want to have another repeat of episode 1. Don't want to fake another outro. It took me so long.
All right.
This was like 40 gigs. Fucking, these sizes are so big. All right. Yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Thomi, bring your list next week and we'll talk about most of it. I won't have played so many new games by then, so
hell yeah, brother.
We won't talk about Dota, and WildStar already died, so we won't do that again.
Maybe true.
Yeah, that's about it. Thank you. I don't know, any last words? That sounds like I'm threatening you. I'm not.
Rest in peace, WildStar.
rest in peace, WildStar.
Well, thank you for
right.
having me.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.